Good evening, everybody. I hope everyone is doing well tonight and ready to explore a new wine and get ready for great conversation. So, tonight's selection is by the McBride sisters, might be kind of bright. McBride sisters, it is a red blend. And I specifically chose this wine because we as Black women are definitely having a moment right now. So, the McBride Sisters Winery is the first Black-owned winery that's in Napa, California, that is owned by two females who happen to be sisters. 86% of the employees at this winery are women, and 58% of the employees are Black. So this is a successful Black business owned by two sisters. So this red blend is a combination of soft Merlot with its chocolate and black cherry flavors, and it's combined with a Cabernet, which gives it its full body and peppery spice. Other notes include blackberry, red plum, cedar, and vanilla. This wine pairs well with jambalaya, beef, barbecue, and cheeseburgers. So this is my first time having this wine, and I have thoroughly enjoyed it. It's very smooth. It's not too dry, which I don't like a dry wine. So I've enjoyed it. So this is McBride Sisters Red Blend from Napa, California. So check it out.
Beginnings on the cusp. Not too old to adjust. Old dog, new tricks. Remember, I was just a pup. Something dirty in my cup. Clean soul, good karma is a must. Still my shooter in the cut. I was stuck inside a rut. Played the game, made bank, move G. Anything to get a buck. You won't find me in the club. I'm in the lab trying to sharpen up the sword. Swinging blades at these scrubs. Bitches flock like bugs to the light. Yeah, right. Treat my hoes like these raps. I don't really got a type. Off top, bullshitting. All I needed was a mic. Yeah. Hey, pass the rock, it's all butter. Pack your bags and take flight. Don't worry, it's all covered. Hey, live your life while you can. Our days are all numbered. Rain could cause thunder, but the sun comes after, clearing up the disaster.
Isn't it lovely? I ain't looking back, I'm focused on what's in front of me. Everybody days a number, but I'm still here luckily. I know that God got me, so I'm in good company. Like, yeah.
Take it from me, I got some places I should take you to see. You know it's easy when you ride with a G. Light speed, moving fast through the city, trying to find me some peace. I finally lived to be the guy that I was dying to be. Still I got some trust issues, people lie through their teeth. The more I grew, the more they hide in the crease. Squad building, weak members get released. If we trying to compete, starting pitchers need relief. Bro, we building a team, everybody got a niche. I've been known to play mine to a T, but it's time for me to lead. Picking dirt right out the cleats. Steep path, roadblocks in the streets, trying to knock me off my feet, cause the devil never sleeps. So I don't sleep too, and trying to breach safes that I didn't have the keys to. We all been.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's up? Put a one in the chat if y'all can hear me. Lost in Translation is in the building. The Velvet Voice of YouTube is here tonight. My co-host on another episode of Flipping Tables. All right, before we get started, you know, we always do some housekeeping here. I want to say first that I'm good today. I'm happy. I'm honeymoon happy and peacock proud to be in the building with prestigious and lovely Black people today on this panel to have a discussion about what needs to be taken care of. All right, now I want to get to the chat first because we want to get right into this conversation tonight. Lost in Translation, how are you, man? And who we got in the chat tonight, my brother?
I am well. Well, let's first of all, we'll go ahead and see who we got in the chat. We got Embrace the Grace in the building, also followed by Nissa, also followed by the Intellectual Soapbox. Welcome back. And also, who do we have? Boss Man CB in the building. Yes, indeed. We also have, I don't know how to pronounce that, but the productions in the building. You know, I'm not even going to mess that name up. Listen, we also have marriage, politics, and sports in the building, aka R Payne. We also have the lovely Melania in the building. Yes, indeed. How you doing, sugar? Then we also have Scorched Earth in the building. Hope we fixed his mic tonight, but that's all right. You know what I'm saying?
Man, come on.
Then we got Through the Five podcast. My main man TJ in the building. Who else do we have? Mink Criff Joseph in the building. Who else? We have King Libra in the building. My homegirl Catelia in the building. Yes, indeed. How you doing, darling? And who else? Make sure we get everybody. No. Edward Gilbert in the building. And we also got a super chat. Curtis Moore. We'll get back to that in a minute. Thank you so much, sir, for your super chat. And I think that's it so far.
All right, man. Well, listen, let's get the super chat out the way, man. Curtis Moore, $9.99, man. He said this group felt comfortable doing this. He's referring to the title of the show.
Right.
They know Christians are passive. Think about it. Why haven't they tried this shit with Muslims or Buddhists?
We're going to get into it tonight.
Yes, sir. We're going to definitely get into that tonight. Let's see us. We got good evening, BM. Okay, we got TX Trina BR in the building. Good evening, BMU family. Hit that like button. It's free. Thank you so much for being here and also supporting the channel. I know you always go back and look at the videos, and I always see that you comment after every show as you go through the video and chapter and put what you learned and what you saw, what you agree with, and so on and so forth. So thank you for being a supporter of the channel. I appreciate that a lot. We got Ronald 804 in the building. He said, "Welcome to Bible study."
How you know, man? How you know, man?
Come on, man. Come on.
How you know, man? So they don't know
man.
we be cutting up back in the chat, man. That's all we do. We play gospel music till we get ready to go.
Man,
so we got to prepare the room, man, for what we're gonna deal with tonight.
Absolutely, man. So listen, I wanna bring up these people tonight, brother, because you gotta have a special type of people to talk about a special type of thing.
Right.
And so the first person I want to start with our ladies first. All right, the ladies in the building tonight. Y'all just saw her come up. She had the wine of the night. You put your hands together for the beautiful, the enchanting, the fair-skinned. If you date her, you'll win. Anissa is in the building tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, crazy. Hi, everybody.
How you doing, Anissa, dog?
I'm great. How are you?
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, I want to hop over and say, twin, where have you been? Professor's in the building tonight.
What it do? Peace and pan fried chicken, my brothers.
Peace and pan fried chicken.
Oh man, you stupid boy. Oh, I forgot what I was about to say. Dude, stupid. All right, man, thank you so much for being here, man.
You can stop it.
All right, man. So next up, I want to bring up someone else, man. Guys, listen. You got to be in the place last night. She had a hair all watery. All right, she had it all silky down her back. Mm-hmm. You had to be in the place to get some of that grace. And Grace the Gracious in the building tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
There go my boo.
Uh-oh. My God.
That boy don't miss.
All right. Listen, man, no matter what come what may, if you piss him off, you're going to hear a lot of mouth from TJ. He's in the building tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
That's it. Zoom on in there, buddy. Come on in there.
Yeah, come on in here now. Come on in the room. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, also, his name is Mr. Bennett. He definitely ain't in it. He's coming to you guys all the way from Jersey. I mean, you better put your damn hands together for Mr. Bennett. Mr. Bennett. But before we do, I cannot be unfair. Mr. Bennett is in the building.
That's tough, man. Mr. Bennett, that's tough, man. That's good stuff, brother.
Good evening.
All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to, before everybody give their greeting tonight, I want to say this. The next man I'm going to bring up to you, he used to be a stripper. All right. This man, they call him the continent because when he strips, he's everywhere at the same damn time. Ladies and gentlemen, put your damn hands together for the man who invented the steaming hot.
The toughest things any man has ever done is turn down a nice,
piece of willing, steaming ass piece of pussy.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your damn hands together for Art Payne in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
Every time I hear it, I believe that more and more.
Absolutely. Listen. The next person I want to bring up, he's a man's man. They hate him, but he do all he can. All right. It's put your fucking hands together for Easy Man.
Hey, peace and pan pizza to y'all too. Peace and pan pizza. Hey, listen, I was looking for that wine goblet that sister has, sister Nissa. I wanted to get my on, you know what I'm saying? I know we're supposed to have our goblets today, man. Damn. I feel unprepared.
Oh man.
I see you, sis. I see you.
Yeah. All right, man.
Next time.
I want to go around the room and check on everybody before we get started. We always like to do that. I'll start with Mr. Bennett. Mr. Bennett, how are you, my good guy? I know that you just laid your mother to rest, and I know I want to check on your health. How are you, man?
Doing fine. Certainly made a lot of peace with certainly with my mom and the family. Family was good. And it was appropriate. It was beautiful, homegoing, and we took that last ride yesterday. So she's buried with my father, and so both of them may them both rest in peace, and I'm at peace. So it's time to move on with the rest of my life.
All right, man. Thank you so much, man. And Mr. Payne is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Payne, we know you're a little nasty, little freaky guy. So how are you doing today, my guy?
No complaints. It's been a nice long day. It's going to be a long night. So I'm trying to figure out what time we're going to get unhinged on this particular show. So I'm ready for it.
Yeah. All right. Izzy, my guy, what's going on, man? How are you today, man?
My God, what's going on to the panel? Peace to the chat. My condolences again to you, Mr. Bennett. Sorry for your loss. Yes, sir. I am happy to be here. I'm happy to be here. That's all I got.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. TJ is in the building. TJ, how are you today, sir? I know you've been at the plantation for a few weeks. You hadn't had an opportunity to come on, but we're so glad that you were able to escape. So how are you tonight, man?
See, this is how you know don't nobody give a shit about black men, because black men unfiltered. I've been in a hospital bed for the last 6 days.
Oh, nigga! I thought you said
I don't want to hear all nigga when people up here knew. There are people up here who knew, who could have passed the message, didn't say nothing. See,
man, I'm sorry. I love you, man.
Brothers don't get no love. Brothers don't get no love. I'm good now. I'm home, huh?
Glad you're doing well, brother. Glad you're doing well. Good to see you.
Look, I try to go back to work tonight, but my doctor wouldn't clear me to go back to work tonight. Because I can't turn down no money.
I'm glad you're feeling better, because somebody had sent me the video of what happened, but I didn't want to say nothing.
That was between me and you, bro. Now why you
Yeah, he was only in the hospital for 6 days. Dang, that's whiplash and some more stuff, ain't it?
Yeah. Mr. Bennett,
TJ got clapped up.
Got to be more damn careful. I'll tell you that much.
Got to be.
Embrace the grace. Look at her. Embrace the grace. All right.
She got mad.
Miss Embrace, how are you tonight?
I'm good. I just got off 10-hour shift, and this is the way I unwind, by dealing with my family and unwinding. So it's good to be here.
Absolutely. I'm going to go get Professor next, because he seemed a little googly-eyed when you were speaking, so I just want to check on Professor, how are you tonight?
Hey, I'm doing a lot better now that you guys have me next to embrace the grace.
Okay.
Actually, your sandwich.
Oh, wow.
I feel like putting on a t-shirt.
Yeah, do you have a sweatshirt with her on it too? I just was.
Wait a minute.
I'm going to send him one of my merch. If you really love me the way you are, you'll wear my merch on one of your shows.
I hope your ass got blanket size.
Wait,
that's the size I am.
what are we seeing here? What are you doing, BMU? What are you doing?
Mr. Bennett, don't instigate.
I'm just saying. I thought there were other suitors, and okay, all right.
I mean, there could be, but when
Like this, like it says, I ain't in it. So hey, y'all do y'all.
Say
Y'all do y'all.
Mr. Bennett.
Man,
Once you
Yeah,
hold this
I ain't in
chocolate,
it.
I'm trying to tell you, no, I'm not your mouth, not in your hand.
Pennies on prom night in '75, so I don't know what's going on.
Exactly.
You know, you have to watch Embrace. Goddamn, she's smiling. She got her hair all down yesterday. Got it pinned up today. I mean,
Got the makeup
know.
on.
I think she the BMF. I think she the only YouTuber.
Yeah, I always have my makeup on. I always look fly when I'm on live, so don't even
Extra fly
start.
today.
Well, I mean, you know, you always look fly, but today like you want to fly away.
I'm trying to tell you. Bob,
Praise the Lord, everybody.
Bob,
Grace the
my
only YouTuber on
uh,
YouTube that's selling blankets for merch.
Oh Lord. Yo,
my
I
beauty
know that
man.
dude in real life. That's
Asia.
the funny thing. I know of that dude in real life. That's a hilarious thing. Pastor Wooten. Shout out to Pastor Wooten.
Oh,
Lord.
Oh Lord. All right, guys. So last but not least at all, we are Anissa. It is so good to see you, and a nice wine tonight for everybody. And you look amazing tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This woman is single as well. Make sure that you look up Anissa. Look at it. She got her nice robe on tonight. She got her wine out. Got her hair all tied up. We got her hair in a bun at the top. She said she got her hair bun at the top because y'all don't want to see that other thing drop. Ladies and gentlemen, Anissa is in the building tonight. Yes, indeed.
You know, you crazy. Good evening. I'm doing well.
Yeah.
Doing well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Last but not least, my brother from another mother, lost in translation. The velvet voice of YouTube is in the building tonight. Talk to me, my brother. How are you?
I'm much better now, man. I'm good. I wasn't feeling too good this morning, but I'm straight now.
All right. Good, man. I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm glad, TJ, all jokes aside, I'm glad you're feeling better too, my brother. For real. All right, man. So y'all see the topic tonight. Christians are too quiet. Why trans people disrespected Jesus at the Paris Olympics opening ceremony, ladies and gentlemen. Man, did y'all get a chance? I want to ask first. Did you guys get to see the opening ceremony?
No,
I did.
Oh, the Olympics are going on.
I reviewed it.
Yeah, friends.
Man, it's deep, man. Them people is deep, man. It's deep, brother. Did you see the horse too?
Yes.
Yeah.
The KO horse.
Lord.
And the
Bro,
bull.
it was so symbolic.
So symbolic.
Like you even seen what Snoop had the symbolic satanic necklace on, and I mean it was just, I'm like, damn, it's like in our face, like blatantly in our face. But when they did the Last Supper and they had all these gay men with dresses on and thongs on doing the Last Supper, bro, and just mocking the Last Supper, bro, I was just in awe. I couldn't, you know.
And that blue guy is the fertility, Greek fertility god. Dionysus,
yeah. So I mean,
and then they had a kid in there too. So don't forget that.
Exactly. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, y'all fill in because a lot of things happen at this damn Olympics, bro. To the point I didn't even want to watch it. I didn't want to. I wanted to watch the basketball part of it, but for people to say it was okay, and after it was over, the officials coming out saying, "Oh, we thought there was nothing wrong with that. It's okay." You had a big old 300-pound sissy up there with a crown on his head, acting like he was Jesus sitting in the middle.
That's a man. Oh, that's right. They were all trans.
They were all men.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Jesus.
You know what I'm saying? Aisle 5 at Walmart extended. All men. And it's just a disgrace, man. What are your thoughts about this happening? Do you think like because we had a where is it at? Curtis Moore said that we're passive as Christians, and that's the reason why they do that to us, but they won't do it to any other person because the Muslims and the Buddhists ain't putting up with it. So do you guys?
I can go first if you want me to. I have a theory because I need some of you guys to kind of think, where are there pockets of Orthodox Christians who actually practice the faith? Christianity's been divided, subdivided all over. I think people call themselves Christians, but even in America, they call us a Christian country. Well, how many people actually practice the faith? And it's not as many as you think. I mean, atheism is on the rise. There's all these sects, and every single one, because of money, has let the devil in their church. All of them. So there's only pockets of real Christian, like the Muslims, for example. They've been infiltrated as well, but they got whole countries, that's still run by the theological doctrine. Well, how many Christian countries are really run by the theologians and not politicians? Not that many. So there's no real battleground, right? If there was a crusade today, the Muslims, and we were using the old weapons, the Muslims will kick Christians' ass because they got real believers. I don't think there's a lot of real Christian believers out there. That's why they could get rid of that shit. Get away with that. And France, for heaven's sake, is supposed to be a Catholic country, right? So that's my theory. That's just a theory. So
we have to understand, Mr. Payne, is that the United States is not a Christian country. We're agnostic.
That's fine. I was just loosely saying that because we lied about it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jay.
Christianity is the biggest religion in the country, but the country itself does not identify as Christian.
Okay.
And this is why, that was the whole purpose of, that they escaped England, is so people can come over here and practice whatever form of Christianity that they feel like they wanted to practice. That's one of the reasons why you have so many subsects of Christianity within this country.
I got you.
From the Koji to the Lutheran to the Baptist to the non-denominational to the Jehovah's Witnesses is considered Christian. So I'm just saying, they're playing in our face because we let them.
Well, I don't think, shout out to both of y'all. I think that it's written, right? Even though there was an Ephemeral Council and the Council of Nicaea and the books were compiled and put together, whatever the case may be, we all know that the prophecies are in the book of Revelation. So it was written. So it's not written to go against the Buddhist or the Muslim or whatever the case may be. It's written of the end of time and the sign of the times, and behold the pale white horse. So, it's going to come a time where it's going to get worse. And I think that time is sooner than later where it's going to be worse. People are going to be persecuted because of their beliefs. I mean, shoot, we see it on YouTube right now where people who have no faith at all, who have no faith system at all, who don't believe in nothing, who don't stand for nothing, they seem to be the ones most celebrated. They seem to be the ones most exalted.
Whatever you want.
They just seem to be the ones that's most celebrated and most exalted. So, at the end of the day, it's a sign of the times. It's only going to get worse. And I don't think it's necessarily because people are passive, because I've seen a lot of Christians going in about it. You know what I'm saying? It's just that it's written.
And let me go ahead and piggyback off of Iz, because, and let me put a disclaimer. I am very young in my spiritual journey, as far as like really getting into the Bible. But whoever grew up with God and grew up knowing God, y'all know this is the closest and the most prevalent times that we have seen the end of times. And it's crazy. If you don't see it, I mean, it was so obvious here in the Olympics, but just in your day-to-day. And I just need to tell people, y'all really need to get right, because times are coming sooner than later. The fact that this was allowed, the fact that it's so open, it's so okay, and nobody's really saying anything. How can the media allow this? But that's the world we're living in, people. And y'all saw what happened the next day, okay? Because it says here, and I did my little notes, do not be deceived, people. God cannot be mocked. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. The one who sows to please his sinful nature, and from that nature will reap destruction. The one who sows to please and the spirit reap eternal life. And in Proverbs 9:7, God doesn't respond to this. What he does is he lets his work be his response. Okay, his work the next day was he gave Paris a blackout. I mean, he's there. His presence is here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. But you have to see it, feel it, and know it. And it's a shame that a lot of us just are so not awake, not aware, and it's going to be too late for a lot of us. I digress. My mic is muted.
Well, if you remember, we've all heard the phrase "writing on the wall," correct?
Right.
That comes from King Nabonidus. And what happened with King Nabonidus after they had raided the Jewish temple? He was having a big partying and drinking out of the chalice that was in the Holy of the Holies. And so where that phrase come from is he saw a hand writing on the wall, and it basically boiled down to, hey, on this day your kingdom is over, you're going to die. And that's when, I forgot what force was, the Hittites or somebody came and took over his kingdom, and he died that night. And that's where the phrase "writing on the wall" comes from. So you can mock God all you want to, but there's always going to be a price to pay. So someone's going to pay the price, and I definitely don't want to be that person or that country.
Mr. Bennett, you can go ahead and jump.
Well, I might be different from everybody on this panel. I thought it was tasteless, just flat out. I don't look at it as art. It's just plain tasteless to me, so I didn't watch too much of it. But I am concerned a bit by this Christian outrage over things that were supposed to be Christians, which I take to mean followers of Jesus Christ. So whatever Christ says about a matter is going to take precedence over anything else, over the Old Testament, over anything else. And then you got the Pauline epistles, where he also addresses a lot of these issues. So if I'm supposed to be a follower, then I would think I would want to take heed to what is said when it comes to matters like this. So I don't understand what the outrage is for. Jesus said you will always have offenders. That comes with the territory. So why are we getting so put off because other people are doing stuff that we shouldn't have any dealings with? But it just stokes our emotions to where we think we just got to do something, rather than being about our business, which is about telling the world about Jesus Christ, spreading the gospel, bringing love into this world. But we're concerned with the other side is doing. Paul says specifically, 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verses 9 through 12, what business is it of mine if folks want to go out there and act a fool? Well, we got stuff that's going on in the church that we don't want to talk about. Scandal, sexual idolatry, sexual impropriety. We got all kinds of stuff going on. The history of the church is laden with bloodshed and wars, those wars in Europe. That's one of the reasons why when this country was signed up, they wanted it basically an agnostic country, because of all those wars that took place in Europe between the 16th and 18th centuries. Anytime you get into religious dogma, that usually means bloodshed for millions of people. That's why I'm not a fan of theocracies. But we get caught up in this thing, we got to do something. Well, the Muslims are going to do something, or the Buddhists will do. Well, I'm not a Muslim and I'm not a Buddhist. So, those arguments aren't going to have weight because someone else decides to pick up in arms and do something or whatever. That's not my business. I'm to be salt and light in the world and share my faith, my gospel, my beliefs with as many people who will listen. They do with it what they will. But we just get all caught up like everybody else, and it just distracts us from the things that we need to be doing. And we don't even talk about the stuff that goes on in our churches that we do enough to embarrass the church. We don't need the outside to do that. We do enough on our own. So I just don't get with this. Am I offended? No. Let them do what they do. It's France. It's been hedonistic for a while. Let them do what they do. And as far as what God says, God is not mocked. It's clear God's going to deal with who's going to deal with in his time. So again, why am I worried about it? So I don't get caught up. I stay about my business and my people. And I just don't preoccupy my emotions with that, because otherwise I'd be just a miserable person. Just looking at how bad everything is. Oh my gosh, look at that. I couldn't, where's the joy in that? So I just take so call me passive if you want to. But I think we just spend too much time talking about what the other side is doing rather than focusing on the people that are right in front of us, who need love, who need support, who need the gospel, who need to hear about Jesus more so than the cultural wars that are going on. That's just me. So I just leave it there.
So can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Yo, so like the sister put in the chat room about Revelations. I think the scripture is Revelations 5 and 8. Is that what it is? And talking about, behold the pale white horse, and on the horse is death, and with it is bringing hell, and behind it the things that's coming behind it. So if this was the ushering of the pale white horse of sorts that was coming in, because the thing we have to remember about, it's not just France, it's the Olympics, so it's the world. It was hosted in Paris, France,
Right.
but this is a conglomeration of the world. And I think a lot of times when we think of the Antichrist, we think of someone coming from the United States. We don't realize that it's a global situation. It's all over the world. It's going to be a world leader, not necessarily the United States president, but it's going to be a world leader that's going to arise, and that's going to offer peace, and that's going to deceive many. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know if, I'm not saying that necessarily Christians have to have a militant approach or be militant about it. At the same time, you're supposed to be gentle, as wise as a serpent and as gentle as a dove. So you're supposed to be observant, and you're supposed to understand what's going on and understand the sign of the times. And therefore that's a place, like you said, though, to agree with you, you're supposed to get your house in order and get yourself in order. But one thing I wanted to add on is the kingdom of heaven is within you. The church, you are the church. So many people look to a building and a place. The church is in you. The Bible says the kingdom of God is within you, and the kingdom of God suffers violence, and the violent taketh by force. So you have to learn how to, like you say, guard yourself, guard your heart, guard your mind. And that's the place that we have to start. That's the vigilance that we have to start with.
Yeah, now, and I want to say this, Mr. Ben, if I could, if you wanted to give some context to this, somebody on that, I'm looking at my Facebook page here. Somebody said, so if you're familiar with it off the top of your head, you may have to type it in if you're not. 2 Corinthians 10:5. They said, what does it mean when Paul says that people should demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself against the knowledge of God?
That's why you have to make sure you show yourself approved.
Well,
You know what I'm
one,
saying?
you got to certainly, again, you study to show yourself approved. But again, those who want to have, bickering, those who want to have arguments, those who divide the church. Look, I mean, we talked, I think Arpane made the point earlier. Why is it that there's so many different churches? Because people get into arguments a lot. And a lot of times those arguments over things that at the end of the day don't matter. What music you listen to, whether you want drums or not, different practices that people just divide on. But again, what is essential to the faith? That Jesus Christ died for your sins and he rose again. And if you trust and believe in that, you are saved. That is the gospel, period. It's not who you vote for. It's not what you wear. It's not about any of those things. But we divide, or we have people coming in, divide over issues. And this was the thing that Paul always talked about. Paul talked about, hey, some people follow me, some people follow Apollos. But we all should be following Christ. So I don't look at a man, I don't look at a denomination, I don't look at any of that. So I think a lot of us are dividing. So what he's talking about in those scriptures, if I take it in the proper context, is, again, we are majoring in the minors. Paul talks about grace. Paul talks about, look, and we don't have to agree with every single thing, but can there be respect? Look, you may not eat pork, and I don't, and I do. We shouldn't be dividing over that. You may have a certain holiday or just things that you rock with. You may drink and I don't. Now, again, there's nothing in the Bible that says you can't drink. It says don't get drunk, but Jesus' first miracle was turning water into wine. Shout out to Anissa. But people be like, look, you can't drink and be in this church. Well, that's not biblical.
That's not.
So again, people put up these barriers to separate themselves and to divide people. So swine is divine. Look, Old Testament law, y'all want to talk about that? Yeah, it says you shouldn't eat pork in the Old Testament. But again, I follow Christ. Jesus said all foods are clean. And Peter had to get that same lesson also. So it doesn't matter what you eat. What you eat doesn't defile you. But you got a lot of these people saying, oh, it's in the Bible just because it's biblical. The question you have to ask yourself is it applicable in 2024 to a Christian? But I see a lot of people wanting to, like almost to want to return to an Old Testament way of doing things. And the question I always ask is, well, if it was so good, then why did God have to give us something else? Because obviously it didn't work. So again, you can be as religious as you want to be. You can restrict yourself as much as you want to be, but that's not going to make you righteous in the eyes of God. It's just not. Paul talks about that also.
And I think in certain situations, Mr. Bennett, I do believe that sometimes we do have to be militant in what we believe. Let me give you an example. I remember, I thought I told you this a while back. I think I did, where I was at church and my son held me accountable. My 12-year-old, he said, "Daddy, didn't you say in the Bible that it's not permitted for women to teach or have authority over man?" I said, "Yes, son, you're right." He said, "Okay, why are we still here?" Right? But I remember that lady saying something when she was preaching. She said, "It is not for you to discipline your children. You're not. The Bible doesn't speak of you discipline your child."
That's a lot.
And in the militant part of me is saying, "Oh, you want to be able to say, oh no, I wanted to bring the Geno Jennings out on her real quick.
Mm-hmm.
That's not Bible, right? Because that's what Geno would say. That's not Bible. That's wicked, right? Because the word actually says that. And so sometimes you'll be at work and you'll hear people misquoting scripture or making stuff seem like it's for them, and they fit it for them, and they change the wording of what it is, and then you have to be like, no, let's turn here. Guys,
it's interesting you mentioned Geno Jennings, because again, a lot of people like to take what fits their narrative and drop a clip of Geno Jennings. But if you truly understood who Geno Jennings was and what the beliefs of his church are, most of y'all ain't rocking with him. All right, you're just not. So again, he does a lot of the same stuff. He puts up dividings among people. If you were going to follow Geno Jennings, you have to cut all them dreads off, all of them. Because they don't allow, because you look like a girl according to them in their church for having those braids and those dreads.
Yeah.
But
so there's a lot of stuff that's out there that, again, people want to make but then we raise people up. Oh, Geno, he's the guy. He's just one guy, but you got to study for yourself.
Right. But this is the thing, right? You're supposed to study to show thyself approved, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth, right? So you can't make your pastor or your apostle or the minister God, because they're not
right,
God.
Right.
They are just men of God. They are just instruments bringing the word. So how it's supposed to work is you're supposed to study for yourself. You're supposed to be in meditation for yourself, because the two places where it talks about success and prosper in the Bible, they both talk about thy word have I hid in my heart, so I may not sin against you. Thy word have I meditated day and night, and then thou shalt have great success, and then thou shalt prosper, right? So the thing about it is to be able to hide the word in your heart and to carry the word around with you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you can like Pastor Geno and some things that Pastor Geno say. You could like BMU, or you could like Brother Mr. Bennett, or you could like Lit, or you could like Sister Anissa, or Embrace the Grace. You can learn something from anybody, right? At the same time, the thing is to not pedestalize people,
absolutely,
and to not be in people worship. And
absolutely, and it happens. You're right.
That's what most people do. They people worship,
and how many it happens over and over again. How many people who we pedestalize? I mean, even Tony Evans had to just step down recently because he had a situation. You didn't get the details on. So again, these people who we say these here, we put them on our wall. But they, if you're a human being, you're going to disappoint at some point in time. So again, I got past the point. I don't pedestalize anybody.
Shit. God is not a respecter of persons, and neither should we be.
Amen.
Right. I agree. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Like you said, some of the things that he says, you can agree with or disagree with. And most of the things that Geno Jennings says, I mean, when he's calling most things out, it's proper, right? And a lot of people don't like the way he says it or how he delivers it, but it's proper. And he talked about, men being in dresses and things of that nature. Now, one of the person in the Facebook group here just said, well, would you consider Samson a girl? Because Samson lost his strength because his locks were cut away from him. So
and again, so are we really going to debate? I mean, I hear, but are we? See, that's the thing. We get into the arguments over hair.
Right.
Yeah, that's not working.
And people want to split up because a man decides to wear his hair long and another one doesn't. Well, that's not in the Bible, so then you're not living right. I mean, again, it's just useless arguments that at the end of the day don't bring anybody closer to God.
Yeah, you got.
But there's some pushback, though, man. There's got to be pushback. Mr. Bennett, I mean, you're eloquent with what you're saying, but that doesn't mean Christians have to lay down and accept all the debauchery that's been thrown in front of 3 million people's faces. Maybe you don't go overboard. Maybe you don't internalize it, but but we are at war. Right? If you're a Christian, you are at war. You're constantly at war. And so you can't just ignore it.
But the war for what, Albany?
Let me say, I agree.
Okay.
That, you got to put it in perspective. But, the people, listen, even, and I know you said you don't believe in the elections matter, but we are at a cultural war also in November. That's part of it. So.
Actually, I never said that, but. You're right.
I mean, you said that we shouldn't be worried. I mean, you said something about
I said, again, my point was we get so caught up in cultural wars.
Okay, but
we talk more about the cultural wars than we talk about Jesus.
Well, hold on for a second. I hear what you're saying, but you're not saying we shouldn't exclude talking about it. It's just we should major on the majors.
Of course. Yeah.
Okay, so take this issue in context. The fact that people are outraged by what they did in the Olympics doesn't say that they're not still majoring on the majors. They just want to raise this to the level of acknowledgement that we are, well, I say we because I'm a pseudo kind of fake Christian, but I am. I've been to Catholic school my whole life. I'm a Baptist now. But the point really is that I was offended by that shit, and I just felt like saying something about it. And so did a lot of other people. Now, that doesn't mean they majoring on it. They just wanted to say something. And what you're going to do about it? Well, I might boycott the Olympics because of it, but I'm not going to condemn the athletes for it. But I can hold the people in IOC and who put that together accountable, at least in my mind, and say that, you know what, these people ain't good people.
Yeah, you can always vote with your views and with your dollars. Absolutely. And I got no issue with that.
So I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying we could do both. Let's just put it that way. We could major on the majors, but acknowledge debauchery.
Right. And also I'll go back to what something lost in translation says, 'cause I know he want to get in here as well. But he always says this verse, and it's one of my favorites as well. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Lost in translation always quotes that. Lost in translation, what are your thoughts?
Here's my thing. It is so important for you to have a relationship with God to understand his heart. And I'm aligned up with Mr. Bennett over here because there's proof to what he's saying. Think about it. If Daniel wasn't worried about his captors when he was in line den, why should we be? If Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego didn't fight their captors and they went right on in that fire and they weren't burnt, that lets me know God got my back. Some battles are not yours to fight. You see what I'm saying? And I like what Embrace the Grace did, but she kind of left off a part that was important. When the power went out in France shortly after that little debauchery, what happened was the only thing that was lit up was the church in the whole entire city for everybody to see. God will not be mocked. Galatians 6:7. And you know what they did right after that? They pulled it off the YouTube. You know how I know? Because I was in the middle of watching it, and all of a sudden it said video not available. They scrubbed it from the internet.
They did.
You know what I'm saying? Because people said something. Now, certain fights, it's not up to you. Because God understands the calculus. That's the reason why he said an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth leave both of us blindless and toothless. You see what I'm saying? So he knows that certain battles you cannot fight because sometimes we don't even understand the enemy that we're dealing with. Sometimes we're not equipped to deal with that particular enemy, but God is. I can't tell you how many times I've heard in church when old women sit up and say, keep still, God will fight your battles. God will fight your battles if you just keep still. But my whole thing is this: a lot of times people want to take stuff into their own hands. You know what I'm saying? And that's not your battle. Sometimes you got to know when God tells you to move and when not. And certain things you can't do nothing about that. I'm with Mr. Bennett on this one. You know, sometimes you gotta let God handle his business. And when he turned the lights out on France, and the only thing that was lit up was the church, he said enough.
Yeah.
He said enough. Mr. Bennett, you are correct, sir. You're a gentleman and a scholar. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And also to add to what you just said, again, you know, like you said, it's just you have to pick your battles, right? If I'm in a room, it goes back for me, it goes back to the conversation of, I'm not going to derail it here, but I'm going to use it as an example. The conversation of speaking in tongues, right? If I go to a church or I'm around people who are saying that it's okay, I can't sit back and just listen to that, right? Because I know what the word says about it, right? The Bible says that if you come into a room of people who speaking in tongues, it is the people who the non-believer will see it as being ludicrous. If you walk in the room and you heard a lot of people, I don't talk about that, you're like, what the hell's going on in here? Without an interpreter, you have to have someone to interpret what that tongue is. And most people in churches today will have a tongue, speak in that tongue, and there's nobody there to interpret anything that they're saying, which causes confusion for a non-believer. If a non-believer come in and he's looking for Christ or looking to have a relationship with Christ, he's seeing this foolery. He's like, damn, I don't know. I don't think I want to be a part of this. So you have to pick your battles. You have to be able to say, okay, we ain't gonna talk about the hair, but we definitely gonna talk about this tongue, because you never know if a person doesn't have an interpreter, what are they really speaking? Right? Because to believe in God, you also must believe in the devil. And if God has his tongue that can be interpreted, and then what is the tongue that is not being interpreted? You see what I'm saying? So you have to pick your battles. So I agree with that as well. I don't nitpick everything, but the big things, the major things, people definitely need to speak up. And one of the things about the Olympics, I've seen a lot of huge Christian sponsors pull their money immediately. They say God will not be mocked. I mean, millions of dollars from people who sponsored the Olympics pulled out of the Olympics. So, that happened as well. So anybody else want to jump in there, Professor?
I think Anissa, I think she was the only one that didn't speak.
Yeah, go ahead. Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Oh, well, she dropped in. Anissa.
Oh, no, I'm here. I didn't watch any of the opening ceremony. It wasn't until I started hearing different things and chatter about it that I kind of was like, well, what happened? So just in going back, I think that it was, and I still haven't seen it, but I think it was supposed to be a reenactment of the festival of, is it Dionysus? Which came from Greek culture. And if you know anything about ancient Greek culture, all that stuff was prevalent back then. Men with men and all that kind of foolishness and debauchery was very prevalent, during that time. So I don't know much about the Parisian culture, but for some reason they chose to put that in their opening ceremony. So I don't know how the connection with that, but I definitely could see how it would be offensive to Christians, because the last it kind of mimicked something that we hold sacred and we hold dear. So I could definitely see how it was offensive. And obviously, some people spoke up because that was what I was hearing, that people were outraged at what they had seen. And because of that, I think they did pull it from the video and from their opening ceremony. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that it was not intentional. I don't think it was intentional. I think they did not consider what they were doing, but I think we should maybe appreciate the fact that once they heard the outrage and the outcries, that they did decide to pull it. One thing as Christians is we are supposed to be bold for Christ. And I always tell people, I don't start anything, but if you ask me, I'm going to tell you what thus saith the Lord. So there are times when we have to be bold for Christ, and the people that express their outrage, in my opinion, they were being bold for Christ. And no, you're not going to mimic something that is sacred to me and my God and my religion. And I think we need to be like that about some of the other things that are going on in this world. We can't fight these battles by ourselves, but we can definitely be bold for Christ, and we can say what God says about a lot of the things that are going on in our culture right now.
I think the overall. I apologize. Go
No,
ahead.
go ahead, Izzy. You the guest. Go ahead.
I think that the overall thing that she said, Miss Anissa said, was correct, and I appreciate that. But with that being said, it's absolutely intentional. These people, like lit the scripture that I had pulled up, like lit P say, we don't battle against flesh and blood, right? But against powers and authorities and high places. So they know what it is, we know what it is, and that's the thing that you have to fight against. That's you're supposed to go see the battle is not supposed to be fought physically, but you're supposed to go in prayer and make intercession for the people of the world. You're supposed to battle through your prayer language because you're not fighting a flesh and blood battle.
Right.
You're supposed to be fighting a spiritual battle. So it is supposed to be some warfare going on, but it's not the physical carnal warfare that people think. Like you're supposed to be in prayer. You're supposed to be in intercession. You're supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, lifting people up and asking God to have mercy on people and on people's souls. You're supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, a prayer warrior of sorts. So yes, I understand what you're saying as far as no, it's not a physical battle. It's not. And there's nothing, you don't have to write no letters or whatever, but you should be aware. You should be discerning what's going on, and then you should go in intercession and prayer, and then you should be trying to raise hell. Makes basically what raise hell means is chop off the devil's head and chop down hell. And the way that you do that is through prayer. The way that you do that is by speaking God's word, is by giving God's word back to him and allowing God to show himself strong in you and through your prayer language. So yeah.
Here's my thing I wanted to touch on this. What France did, I question, because you said they put on a festival of Greek culture, right? Why
I think it was supposed to be a reenactment. I mean, I'm just from what I read,
Yeah, that's fine. But my thing is this: why did they pick Greek culture? How come they couldn't put French culture up, since it is their country? It's their opportunity to show everything about France and what France does. It'll be like if somebody came to America and we put on a Japanese, program. To me, that just don't sit right. So if you're going to promote your city,
I didn't understand the connection.
I didn't either.
I
didn't either. But my thing is this:
so.
they missed an opportunity to showcase Paris, France, and their rich culture and their rich history. But they chose to go back to Greek culture, which is not their own, and put that on display. See, that's the part I think a lot of people are missing. Yes, these people know what they're doing, because to me, that doesn't make sense. You see what I'm saying? Because if I guarantee you, when they had the Olympics in Seoul, Korea, it was all about Korea, baby. You know what I'm saying? When they had it in San Francisco a long time ago, in LA, it was all about America, baby. But for some reason, when it gets to France, here's Greek culture. My question is why?
And then not only Greek culture, but they did not have one real woman up there. All men dressed in women clothes.
The mocking of the Last Supper. The Last Supper don't have nothing to do with Dionysus.
Nothing to do with it. And they crawling on the floor and licking their tongues out and just, I mean, it was very demonic, bro. And at the beginning, did y'all see the lady in red holding her own head, speaking out, and then they had the fire come from under the shit? Man, bro, it's just right there in front of your face.
And then the fact that it's summertime, the kids are home, the kids are watching this.
Of course.
I mean,
that's the best time to push some agenda is when the kids watch.
Exactly. You get them while they're young. Like I tell my son, you love Drake, but look what he talks about. You like these rappers, but you're going to be torn between the world and God. So you got to make a choice. You can't serve both masters. But I don't force it on him. I just show him things and I send him things so he can do the research. I'll send him scriptures and then look it up. You don't believe me? Look it up. And I try to back it up and live my life the way I would like him to live. But it's hard for an 18-year-old about to embark to go to college. But I just hope everything that I've taught him and he's learned, he can apply now when he's away.
And a sidebar real quick. Tonight, before I got on, I think it's the Democratic conventions tonight. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, it's like
I have
2
no
weeks from
idea.
now. I think it's like 2 weeks from now.
It was something for Kamala Harris. They were having a rally for her tonight or something.
Yeah, a rally in Atlanta.
Yeah, and Megan Thee Stallion opened up for her.
Of course, she does it. But this is the thing, though. We gotta stop. This is the thing, though. We gotta stop. If you call yourself Christians, if you call yourself spiritual, if you call yourself holy, if you call yourself sanctified and set apart, we gotta stop being so accepting of every daggone thing.
There you
That's
go,
the
brother.
problem. We are too accepting
There
of
you go.
everything. We let oh, well, they didn't mean it, or oh, they just they're a good person, or oh, they're a nice person, oh, they do this good, or oh, they do that good. No. Once they show you the devil and the demon that they are, believe them and keep it moving. Raise hell on them and keep it moving, because this is the thing, and I see it on YouTube all the time, and it pisses me off. People accept anything and listen to anything and just be pulled away with their own desires and their own lusts, and it doesn't make any type of sense. If you say you have a spiritual foundation, if you say you're a spiritual being, if you say you believe in God, then show it, because faith without works is dead. Show it through your action. How can you say, come on, it's crazy. People take the love of God, the love of Jesus too far. He didn't accept all that stuff. He told them, you brood of vipers, you devils, get your stuff right. Get right or get left. He didn't sit there and accept that stuff that they was doing and participate that stuff with them. Y'all ain't supposed to be doing that and operating like that.
Well, let's add a little nuance to that. That brood of vipers that he was talking about was the religious authority of the day. It wasn't the publicans and sinners that he was hanging out with. And those people were never offended by them. No, it wasn't. Because he was criticized for hanging out. Why are you hanging out with those people over there? But the only angst that Jesus had against anyone was the religious authority. Read Matthew 23, and that's the only time Jesus goes in. It's on those people.
Hold on, let me respond. That's not accurate. So let me say this. One thing I don't do is I don't argue the Bible, but that's not accurate. When the people, there was several times he rebuked his own mother. Did you know that? Jesus rebuked his own mother. Okay, so that's number one. Jesus rebuked the people in Nazareth where he could not perform the miracles. That was another one. Jesus rebuked the crowd of the people who tried to cast the stone on the woman. That was another one.
That was the religious authorities.
No. It wasn't.
Yes, it was. It was the religious authorities that brought the woman out.
Brother Bennett.
That's who it was.
Hold on, Brother Bennett. Amongst those people was not just the Sadducees and the Pharisees. If you read it, it was people as well. Not just the Sadducees and the Pharisees. Jesus rebuked even his disciples. So family, when you say that he did rebuke the Pharisees and Sadducees, that's true. But it's not accurate to say he only rebuked the Sadducees and Pharisees, because that's not true. Jesus rebuked anybody who did not have faith and who did not believe and trust and believe and act on their faith. He did. He didn't participate in the same things. I can show you the scriptures. I don't argue the scriptures, but I can show you the scriptures where he rebuked his mother. Where he said, "Woman, what business do I have with you?" He rebuked his mother. Okay.
If you want to compare that as a rebuke to what he did in Matthew 23, that's a stretch. I'm sorry, that's just a stretch. To offer a correction to someone is not the same as condemning. He condemned those religious authorities in Matthew 23. It's not the same thing.
I didn't mention Matthew 23. You did. You using your own reference to cite something that I said. But it's not a debate. I don't debate the Bible. But I
respect, man. It's all respect, man.
I would implore you to read a little bit more and study a little bit more, and you'll see that he didn't only rebuke the Sadducees and Pharisees. He rebuked other people as well, several other people.
And even so get to this then, because I'm loving the conversation, guys, because it shows how much knowledge you guys have when it comes to biblical text. So I'm loving it. I just also wanted to add in there, Mr. Bennett and Izzy and Lost and anybody else, Professor Arpane, when it came to, especially Mr. Bennett, when it came to Jesus being angry, and he inspired the name of the show, Flipping Tables.
Right.
And he even said that he started whooping a few people in there.
Absolutely. And the question I asked, because we talked about this before.
Yeah.
What was he flipping tables over?
Right. Yeah, that's
It was you again. You've turned my house of prayer into a den of thieves. He was going after again the religious authority for being, and how even today, how much is the church preoccupied with money, making money over saving souls? So so again, it to me it follows the same path. He saved his anger against those who tried to use religion to oppress people.
Yeah. I so again, I agree with Anissa. Anissa says sometimes we have to be bold, and in Christ enough to be able to, because I'm telling you, man, there are people out here that will fit their own, like Mr. Benny, you said it earlier, you alluded to it earlier too, that will fit their own narrative, and they'll curve things to make it fit their own narrative. And like one of the young ladies at I hate when I hear people say this, but one of the young ladies that I work with, she says, well, I'm going to get drunk this weekend. I'm finna be so fucked up. and then so one of the older ladies said, yeah, but aren't you a Christian woman? You shouldn't carry yourself in that way, being drunk with all and all that. And she was like, because Jesus turned water into wine. She said, yeah, but the Bible says he turned water into wine, but the scripture also says do not. It says it didn't say you can't drink. It says do not become drunk. Right.
Correct.
And so but she didn't. And when the elder lady brought that up to her, she was like, I don't know if I ever heard that. I grew up in the church. I ain't never heard that. but right,
really?
She tried to make it fit her narrative, right? But it's in there. It says you can drink, but don't get drunk with it.
Yeah, it says wine is a marker, a strong drink is raging. It talks about don't get, you can drink, but don't be drunk. It's saying the same thing you're saying, BMU.
Yeah.
So I don't know why she didn't hear it.
Exactly, because they don't want to.
Now,
I have a question for the panel. I'm sorry, Lit. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying people hear what they want to hear. That's all. Go ahead, Grace.
Last night I did the show about Sonia Massey, and the first thing when I saw that was when she said, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." She a demon. Guys,
look at the devil messing up your mic.
I know.
Yeah. Say that again. Say it
He's
again.
the prince of the power. He's a prince of the power. Yeah, right.
And things like that.
Yeah, repeat what you said, baby, because we couldn't hear you.
Oh, sorry, I was getting a phone call. My bad. So when I saw that, when she said to him, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus," I actually felt a spirit being triggered, and what he did. Now, my question to the panel is, do you think that there are actually people walking around with the demonic spirits and evilness, wickedness within them?
Yes.
And do your hairs in the back of your head, and do the hairs in the back of your neck or goosebumps when you get next to somebody that something just don't feel right about this person? It's like sometimes I can't even breathe around them because something just don't feel right to me. Do you guys ever experience this?
Well, before we go into that, we do. But before we go into that, guys, I want to say something that's going to just that just gave me chills. It just hit me. If you go back and watch the video, she's in the kitchen. The officer who is speaking directly to her about the pot, she didn't say to him, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." She turned to the other officer who was standing beside him and said, he said, "Oh yeah, we don't want to burn the house." So she said, "Oh, boiling water, whatever." She turned away from that officer who was speaking to her and said, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." She turned to him. She looked at him. She didn't look at the officer that said it. She looked at him and said, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." And immediately that officer showed himself. That demon showed himself. He said, you say that again, I'll blow your fucking face off.
You talking about the Grayson, the one that shot her?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I apologize.
So,
let me.
The officer that told her to move the pot and get the water, he was like, "I don't want you to burn the house down." She addressed him and she said, "Oh no, I won't." And then she immediately turned her head to the other officer and said, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus."
Yeah.
Yo, can I add? Oh, I apologize. Can I add just real quick? Luke 9, it's Luke 9, brother. Luke 9 and 41, and it's Mark 9 and 24, brother Bennett. Those are places where he rebuked his disciples, he rebuked people. Nah, I'm just saying, but a lot of times when people say stuff like, listen, I'm the type of brother, when I say stuff, I actually know what I'm talking about. And I don't talk on things that I don't know what I'm talking about. So when someone immediately chimes in and says, "Oh, well, that's incorrect," I like to give them my source and to let them know where I got the information from so they can study for themselves. Go ahead, brother professor. You got it.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh man, I forgot what I was gonna say. That good gracious. No, but you know,
you know what's good though. I'm
but
gonna
I
say
think I think people do. I think people go ahead.
Yeah, I'm saying everybody that's sharing the word with each other. That's amazing. That we're not sitting up here on this panel tonight. Nobody's calling each other names, but we're actually talking about something that's positive, right? We're all on the same page. We're just seeing the page a little bit differently, and we're combining notes. So I'm enjoying the conversation. I appreciate Mr. Bennett and Izzy having that back and forth because it's amazing. Professor, go ahead, brother. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
But to that's where they talk about iron sharpening iron. That's what I say. Don't forsake the assembling of the brethren, because you don't need to be in church to have an assembling of the brethren. We have an assembling of the brethren right here, and iron is sharpening iron here. But I do think that people see their lives or see something before they pass away, whether it's family members, whether they see angels, whatever it is they see. I know personally, I saw things as a child. So I think she saw something and what made a rebuke, and I think it was Elijah. Please correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Ben. I forget which one. He said, please open his eyes so he can see there's more with us than there is with him. There's a different dimension that we can't see, and she saw in that dimension, and that's when she said what she said. And for the officer to say what he said, I think, like you said, I think something jumped in him, because I've never heard an officer say it again, I'm gonna shoot you in the effing face. And if you look at
and then do it.
And then do it. If you look at Illinois state law, every office, every law office or police office is taught to shoot center mass. I said, who's going to shoot her center mass? There was an opportunity he could have done it. He chose to not only move closer to her, but also do it exactly what he said, and not only once but 3 times. So it had to be something. And then then the things he said after that shows me there had to be something in him that reacted. And to your point, embrace the grace. If you look at pictures of Richard Ramirez, if you look at pictures of some of the serial killers, you can look in their eyes and see something's there that's demonic. You look at Aleister Crowley, the wickedest man of all, you see something there. And so I think there is things that jump into people.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm not crazy. Okay.
No, you're not. I mean, again, like I said earlier, if you like I said earlier, if you believe in God, you also have to believe in the devil. You believe in angels, you must also believe in demons. And you have to understand that.
That was a good way to put it.
Right. And what was the biggest trick? I lost in translation. I'm going to tag team you in here, brother. Pause. But you know, what is it what's the biggest trick that the devil played on everybody?
He don't exist.
Against the world, he does not exist.
Right. And so when people say, ain't no demons, what? Demons? Oh, y'all crazy. That's mental illness. Hell no. Some of the people we deem the craziest be the ones that's telling the truth. I'm telling you, bro. Some people can be like, oh, it's a demon on the devil. Wait, because that officer, when he heard Jesus, his whole body language changed. Yep. Just go watch the video. Yep. When she turned to him and said, I rebuke you. And my thing is this. What was happening in that room that needed that rebuke? Mm-hmm. Yeah. What made her turn from the officer who was speaking to her and turn to the officer that didn't say nothing to her and say, I rebuke you. And there was something about that man, that aura in the house. That's why when the officers first came there, what did she say to the officer that shot her?
Don't hurt me.
Don't hurt me. Before they even walked through the door, she felt something on that man. Don't hurt me. He came she called for protection, but when she saw him, she said, don't hurt me. Right? So, I mean, man. You know,
I'm gonna tell you what it was. What it was is that she revoked her invitation and he wouldn't leave, and that's when he became upset. Because the only way somebody come in your house is if you invite him in, but he was invited in under the pretense that he was helping. As soon as she found out exactly what she invited into our house, she said, "Hey, you got to go," and then he just said, "I ain't going nowhere," and took it upon himself. You going somewhere? Life, you know.
And keep in mind. At a per source of news today, keep in mind that officer who shot her, he wasn't even dispatched to go there.
Wow.
Just take that add another perspective. Go Google that. He wasn't even dispatched to go there. They were hearing it on the radio and just decided to go.
See, he wasn't invited.
He wasn't even invited over there. They didn't even dispatch him to go. You see that? You see how crazy that is? If that don't give you chills or make you feel some type of way right now, I don't know. I mean, when he walked in the house, he really didn't say nothing. He was just looking around. He said, "Ma'am, how's your mental health tonight?" So he had already set the standard that this woman gonna be crazy. If she see this on me, we're gonna consider her ill, crazy.
Well, that's how they tried to pin that on her, that she was mentally ill.
Exactly.
Until the footage came out, they were painting all kinds of stuff on her in terms of her mental health.
Exactly, Mr. Bennett.
That's a tactic. We call it, if you name it, you can tame it. What you do is you put a false narrative on somebody, and then hopefully hope somebody else believe in it. So when you do whatever act you decide to do, you were justified in doing what you had to do. That's all it is. People do that in arguments all the time.
Yep.
And a lot of things she did, she looked like she was afraid. Like even the fact that they said, "What's your last name?" and she had to think about it, Massey. And then she's trying to find, she's going through her stuff trying to find things. And then even going to get that pot, which wasn't even a big deal. I mean, there was 2 officers. One of the officers could have went to turn the pot off. She's still moving sort of in a nervous factor. And I'm like, so like that whole video was just weird to me.
Yeah.
The whole thing from when they entered the house was just something was off the whole time, like you guys are saying. And not to get political, but had it been in California under a certain vice president, you would have never known because they wouldn't have had body cameras on.
And keep in mind, it was I had an officer. We played a video last night for Embrace the Graces show where an officer said, I think it was the black officer. He said, if you take a look when the shots were fired, he said you can see the reflection. If you really pay attention to the video, you can see the reflection of the other officer's face that did not shoot her, looking at the officer like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, what did you just do?
He was disgusted.
He was like, what the fuck? Why did you just shoot this woman?
Like I had to. I wasn't taking no boiling hot water to the face. Well, why'd you get even closer to her? Step back. It's water.
Yeah, but hold on. But what if he thought the water? Man, listen here. We can get deep with this.
Holy water.
What if he thought the water was prayed over? What if he thought the water was? You see what I'm saying? Like, just think about it. Like just for a minute. I ain't trying to be
Exorcist.
Man, I'm telling you, bro. When for that woman to turn from that officer in the mid conversation and turn to that man and say, "I rebuke you, bro," if she saw something on that man, bro.
And you know what? Here's the thing. Whenever the police officer in your house, you shouldn't be afraid. But when she was on the phone with somebody, she was like, "Please don't hang up with me." And the officer that shot her was like, "Oh no, it's okay. You can hang up."
Yeah. See?
Yeah, I think she was on the phone with dispatch or something.
She was. And they hadn't even dispatched nobody. Them officers just showed up because they heard it over the radio. So
and she begged them not to hang up. She said, "Please don't hang up with me."
It's crazy, man.
Bruh. So listen, I'm gonna show y'all this video real quick. I think I got a little snippet of it because they going crazy on YouTube about showing this shit now because they scrubbing it, like you said, lost in translation.
I told you they was gonna scrub it.
Oh yeah, that opening with all those men in dress and stuff. Oh, that's gone.
Yeah.
You really can't find it nowhere unless you go to somebody that really recorded or screen recorded it. It's gone. Completely gone. So if it didn't have any depiction or anything to do with the Last Supper, all this stuff they apologize for, if it had nothing to do with that, then why would y'all scrub the internet and get it all away? Take it all out. Right? That shows a sign of guilt, but okay.
We're losing sponsors.
And the sponsor said, hell no, we out. All right, here we go.
Jesus Christ.
These are all men.
looks like a weekend at our Payne's house.
Oh man!
Oh man! Damn, they got Professor in it too now.
Oh Lord!
Well, one more time and you're through.
I don't see anything funny about that. Not one thing. You know what I'm saying?
So there was all men, but for me, even my son said, "Daddy," he said, "Dad, did you see the lady with the hole on her own head and she was speaking in a language?" He said, "Dad, that didn't make you feel uncomfortable?" I say it did, son, because I don't know what the hell she was saying. Not at all. And if y'all heard, I don't know what that was. I
Well,
have no
that's what they
idea.
make Google
So
Translate
how many
for.
layers of approvals do you think that went through?
Man, come on, R-Pain.
I was just thinking that, like, who in the world thought this was a great idea? And let's proceed with putting this out there on the
It's
biggest
just
stage
crazy,
right
Yeah,
now.
man.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nobody in the chain. That's just deep, man. It's like a taproot, man. Everybody, it's crazy.
Man, I don't know if you saw it, Mr. Bennett, but when they turned all them lights off and had that pale horse running across that damn stage with that black, and what does the Bible say? The pale horse rideth with death, right?
Right.
So that pale
And
horse was
death
riding
followed.
across. They turned the lights off, with nothing shining but the horse, and they had a man dressed in all black in a black silhouette holding on to the horse. And they say this has nothing to do with Christianity at all. Nothing. I mean, get out of here, bro. You
Nope.
can't see with people that read the word, they see it. When we see it, we can discern, oh yeah, that's it. We know, oh yeah, that's demonic. And the people apologize today. Nothing we did had anything to do with the Christian faith.
Well, BMU, who's the rider of the pale horse?
Death.
Death. And death and hell.
Yep.
So yeah.
Now everybody just cheering, and Snoop Dogg sitting up there looking like an anorexic farmer. I'm like, dude, they gave him this necklace like this. Man, it was crazy.
The Baphomet? Yeah, it was a Baphomet.
Yeah, the Baphomet on his neck. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm just like, man, come on. I'm looking at it.
There was a time when black people didn't play with the devil.
At all.
You got Lil Nas X and all these dudes talking about I worship Satan and all this stuff. Bro, we didn't play with that back in the day.
I got you easy right now. Yeah, man.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, black man. Black man, let me ask you a question, man.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
What's wrong with being a man? I mean, seriously, man. What's wrong with being a man
these days, brother?
It seems like every time we look up, they're taking the image of a masculine man and tearing it down and substituting it for something else. Why is that?
Because masculine men provide structure, right? God already said we have dominion over everything. And if a man has dominion over everything and God has given him that right responsibility, then we can have too many men and masculine men having too much positive structure, because that breaks down the narrative that we're pushing. We can't have fathers in the household telling their sons they can't wear heels and skirts when they're 5. We can't, because if you do that, that's tearing down the narrative. We can't have men standing up and telling their wives, you can't wear that outside this door because it will bring a much attention to you that will end up bad for both of us. You cannot be a man anymore. Being a man is almost illegal without the law being passed.
And then to add on to that, BMU, God mostly spoke to men. God mostly spoke to the men. It gave the divine order. It's God, man, women. It's the divine order. So the thing is this, like when you take, like you said, to add on to that, when you take the man out the equation, when you take masculinity out the equation, then you take proper divine order out the equation. And when you take divine order out the equation, you take the power. It's the form of godliness, but lacking the power thereof. Where 2 or 3 are gathered together in his name, ask what you will, and he will give it unto you. It's the power of being able to unite, the power of being able to commune and have that prayer. You know what I'm saying? That passive all understanding. But people don't understand that. That's why the family structure is so under attack. Because when you have people that are in harmony, in unity, then powerful things happen. Things are able to move. Things are able to shake.
Right. And even the women in the chat right now, I'm so proud to see the women over here speaking the way they speak. I just saw somebody, somebody said, yes, he spoke he spoke to men and through men. Now, and this is where I'm because God used a lot of men, but this is where I get twisted and the discernment comes out. Because I think all the men on this panel have that discernment as well. Mr. Bennett, especially Izzy, I see that in you as well, Professor, Mr. Payne, and so also a Lost in Translation, where we see something and we know that biblical text in our mind and we see something, we know immediately, oh no, that ain't what it is. And when I see people like Sarah Jake said, I was sitting in my house on the recliner and God came, sat next to me and he spoke through me. He told me to lead my husband to lead my family, to lead this church. I said, oh, hell no. By the time she got to her husband, I said, I'm out. Ma'am, God did not come tell you to lead that man. Listen, you're a liar. You're lying. You're lying.
Or it wasn't God.
Somebody else was talking, because even her husband said,
that has happened before.
Absolutely.
Right. To Jesus himself, right? He's like,
and our husband, even our husband said, yeah, I'm gonna. He said, there's nothing more important to. Oh, I wish I had the video to show y'all. I will next time. There's nothing more important to me to sit back and be the first man in the church and watch her flourish and lead. What
is that swallowed up daughter?
Yes.
Oh, that say
God
less.
did not. God,
You know what?
nothing.
Let me explain something to y'all, man. The devil knows who to pick on first. I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to give you an example. Have you ever had a kid who was afraid of the dark?
Mm-hmm.
And they said, Mommy, there's something in this room. You know what I'm saying? There's something in this room. Could you come look and stay with me? You know what I mean? And then he'll start with the kids, and then the kids will start doubting. You know what I mean? And then after that, he'll move right on up the chain to the women. And you know what I'm saying? He said, hey, you need your freedom. You need your independence from your man. You see what I'm saying? And then after that, there's contention between the man and the woman. And then after that, they talk to the man. And then what happens is the devil tries to separate man from God. And that's the last chink right there. And once he got the man, he got the rest of the world. If you think about it, that's the reason why a lot of guys don't go to church no more, is because they've been cut off. I don't know if they choose not to believe. I don't know if they were never brought up to believe. I don't know if they were trained properly, or if whatever happened between them, or the devil said something to them, but they separated them from God. So I think that's the main problem. You have to watch and pay attention to see what's going on in your house, because sometimes the devil will show up and he won't talk to you because he already know you strong. But what about your kids? What about your wife? You see what I'm saying? Those are the type of things we have to stay vigilant about. And that's the main reason why a lot of times most women, if you really want a stable household, you might want to start with somebody who has a relationship with God that's unbreakable, because there's safety there. You see what I'm saying?
I think I don't know if it was anybody on this panel, because I'm getting old. I don't remember who said it, but I do remember hearing somebody say, "I believe the devil." Oh, it was Ricky. Ricky said, "I think the devil was a woman." And let me tell you, and I'm not going to get on that whole thing tonight. I just believe, though, think about it. Some of the most persuasive things that have ever happened in history that started wars, rumors of wars, death, all that was you remember, Mr. Bennett, in the Bible where I think it was King Nebuchadnezzar, where she used her daughter to seduce him with a dance, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, the power of a woman is something else. When Delilah told Samson, lay your head right here, baby, don't you worry. Tell me everything. Be vulnerable with me. Talk to me. What is it about you? Tell me everything. And he said, "Oh, bless my locks. If you cut them,
that's not how she got him though.
He got tired of her nagging.
She didn't. Yeah, exactly. She kept coming. Yeah. He's like, it was the nagging, which a lot of women are very good at the nagging.
She wore down Mr. Bennett.
But it wasn't that smooth talk. It wasn't that, "Oh, baby, tell me what." No, got on his nerve.
Yeah.
And he finally just said, fine, this is my, so yeah, that narrative too, we got to correct that also.
Variation on the theme though, Mr. Bennett.
What's that?
It's a variation on the theme. I mean, it wasn't a sweet talk, it was a nag, but she
absolutely, she kept coming.
So she gets it right.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know what, Mr. Bennett? Now the story comes alive. The story came alive when you put it that way, Mr. Bennett.
She nagged him to death.
Yes,
literally.
You don't love me. You don't love me if you can't tell me. If you love me, you would. But no, BMU, to answer your question, if we look at Roman civilization and Greek civilization, those are two of the biggest civilizations of all time. Part of their downfall was the rise of homosexuality. So when you ask where are men going, we're going right in the same boat of every other great civilization, the way of homosexuality.
Well, that's why it's not an accident.
Add on feminism. It was feminism and homosexuality. It was both.
They go hand in hand, buddy.
Yeah.
So we're there.
They are sisters of the same bird.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are
Right.
lit.
Right. So there you go.
Yeah, that's it, right and exact, brother.
But so let me
My
ask
bad,
you
Mr.
that though.
Payne.
So let me go into that, because as Christians as well, we're commanded to love everybody, but we also, like Anissa said earlier, be bold. I don't think that if you are a homosexual person, help me with this, help me, Lord. If you homosexual person, that's your life, you live in your life, nobody knows it, you come to church, you do your thing.
Right.
I just think it's getting to the point now. Let me tell you something, because some of these churches, some of these pastors starting to get them up out of there. But it's coming to the point now that you'll go online. I was watching, I ain't gonna say the church name because it's a very big church, but I was watching their choir sing, and the choir director was a guy. And when the camera zoomed in on the choir and he was directing the choir, his nails were this long and they were pink.
Yeah.
Now, when do you get to a point and say, "No, brother, you can, you live your life. God's gonna judge you and do all the other stuff, but you can't come in here as no man, no pink ass nails on directing no choir. That ain't gonna happen." I mean, when do we get bold enough to start telling them, "Hey, listen, whoa"?
I think that comes from the head of the church, the pastor.
Absolutely.
And
Yep.
and there
Exactly.
has to be a standard set, and especially if you're going to be a leader in the church or over a ministry or anything, there needs to be a standard set, and they need to uphold that. Now, you're more than welcome to come to church. The doors are always open for you to come get the word, and because that's a demonic spirit on that person, and you need to be delivered from that. But in no uncertain terms are you going to be the head of a ministry, or or anything like that. And you just have to stand on that. I don't know why people are afraid to make those type of decisions, but I personally think that's what needs to happen.
I'm gonna
You're
tell
more
you
than
why
welcome
is
to come to church
Because
and
of
get
this,
the
we want
word.
everybody. We want everybody to feel good. It's the feel good word. That's why I have problems with
Mhm.
bigger pastors in Houston, Texas, and bigger pastors in Dallas, Texas, who refuse to speak against homosexuality. Because
Yeah.
as a pastor, as the head of the church, you have a greater responsibility because you're leading sheep, and if you're leading sheep the wrong way, you're gonna pay for that at some point. And so that's why I have issues with pastors that do things like that, because you're right. We are to embrace the homosexuals. We want you in our church because we can love the sinner but not the sin. Because we want them in our church. We want to be able to get them under the word, but they shouldn't be in any kind of leadership. They shouldn't be leading any choirs. They shouldn't be anybody's deacon. And I say this: if you're cheating on your wife, you're sleeping around, you're not
Same
married,
thing.
you're sleeping in the congregation, it's the
Yeah.
exact same thing. If you're lying, you're
Exact
stealing
same
money, the exact same thing.
Yep.
Well, Professor, can I ask you a question? Listen, one
You
of the
sure
reasons
can.
why all those churches acquiesce to the homosexual, the women, because they pay the most money. They pay, it's a. I think there's a financial thing too, right? What happened to T.D. Jakes when he decided to get religion and say all that stuff about women? Like for a couple of months, the women stayed away. I guess they started to come back in, and So all I'm just trying to say is, I think everybody sold their soul to the devil for the most part. And if you're not willing to say what you need to say from the pulpit, I mean, look what happened with Fannie Willis. She was an adulteress, and the pastor had no problem giving her the pulpit. Matter of fact, in the church, I had to do it. I was thinking about. Now, I didn't do this, but I was thinking every so often you get the mic to sing and do whatever. But I would stay away from going behind the pulpit, all right, because I didn't belong there. Right? I look at it as like someplace where you have to earn that, right, and be invited to do that. And this guy invited a lady who was unremorseful about being an adulteress, right, and in front of his congregation. I think that's bad. I would respect him more. He said, "Listen, I'm gonna give you. Well, first of all, here's you're gonna stand in the well, but not behind the pulpit. And first, I got to tell you, I don't approve of what you did. However, I'm a forgiving pastor. This is your church, and I don't mind you saying something, but understand that you need to repent for what you did, and then give it a mic. So I would have more respect for the dude.
But a lot of them be living secret lives. So a lot of those pastors that you're talking about, Professor, be living the very thing that you're
I know.
asking them to condemn.
Yeah.
So
That is
it's
true.
hard for you to
That's
condemn
true.
something that
Yes.
you're
That's
living.
true.
I'm
But I
saying.
still, but I yeah,
What's
I
what's
still
guy's
take
name?
issue with.
Oh Lord, what's
Go
the
ahead.
pastor's name?
Go ahead, Mr. Ben.
No, BME was saying something.
No, I was asking Izzy what the pastor's name was again. I forgot.
Which one?
The one that said, "Oh Lord."
Oh, Pastor Wooten.
Pastor Wu.
Wooten. EP Wooten.
He heavy on that. He heavy on that.
He had a
But
guy.
the crazy thing is his son is sus. Like I said, I'm very familiar with Pastor Wooten. I grew up in their church when I was in North Carolina in Raleigh. I went to their church. I have very good friends that go to their church and attend their church. I'm very familiar with Pastor Patrick Wooten. But his son, the ironic thing is his son is, you know what I'm saying, by all accounts.
Wallowed.
And you know what though? You know what got me? He
that?
came up to the thing. He said, "I know y'all came here to hear a gospel artist tonight, but you won't hear it here because when he came in, he had feminine tendencies, and we sent him all back out the door."
Yeah, he
So
ain't
we're gonna
lying.
sing some hymns tonight.
He ain't playing. And listen, if you have earrings, listen, he don't play the radio. If you have earrings, he ain't letting you in. You have earrings in his shirt, and he got armor bearers like they men, like supposed to be men. So we you know, but like I said, I don't know. The tree, the fruit don't fall too far from the tree. His son is woo-hoo.
But you know what? He talked about his son though a few Sundays ago.
What did he say?
He talked about his son.
I haven't been around in a long
He
time.
rebuked his son in front of everybody.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah,
'Cause
he
for a
said,
long time,
my son want to live a life. He said, you ain't seen my son. I know you've been hearing rumors. Well, let me go ahead and tell you what the rumors are. My son out there in that world real bad. And I rebuke him and everything he doing. When he decide he want to come back to Jesus, we have open arms. Until then, they closed.
Okay, well that's what's up.
Yes,
Because
Lord.
for a long time, but for a long time he didn't address that. For a long time he didn't say nothing about that. Like in his like he was heavy on the, you know, the people who operated like that. He was heavy on he don't play that in his church. But for a long time his son was right up in there and yeah, he didn't address that. But I'm glad he started to. Shout out to him. Shout out
Black
to Pat.
man, the reason why I asked you that question earlier, why is it so bad to be a man? I don't know if you ever raised plants or something like that. If you don't tend to a plant, it'll die.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So if you don't cultivate masculine men who want to serve the Lord, they're gonna down the vine just like anything else. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if you ever had a plant to die on you and you try to pour water on to try to bring it back and it's just dead, it ain't coming back.
Gone.
I think that's probably what we're seeing today, man. And what happens is when women do run across, you know, a masculine man or somebody who is tied up with the Lord, then it's foreign to them. You know what I'm saying? They have never developed a taste for that. And sometimes with guys too, when they find a woman who has a relationship with God and they ain't never experienced nothing like that, they're gonna say, hey, I don't believe that. You know, it's gonna cause conflict and problems. And I think what happens is if we don't start cultivating our own people, we're gonna wither away just like those plants. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's probably what we need to do. We need to cultivate what we need. So y'all spoke about earlier, you know, about the minister of music, you know, being from aisle 5. Or how come we're not telling our boys to, you know, go send them to piano class, you know, sending them to music class? If you ever noticed, the first thing they cut in these schools is the music and extracurricular stuff. Well, guess what? That's the stuff we really need in life. But if you cut it and you don't stand up and you don't support it, then it's going to wither away. The talent will wither away, just like we talked about that plant. So we have to start investing in what we really, really want so we can reap what we sow.
Right.
But if we're not sowing, then we ain't going to be able to reap nothing. So we really can't complain when you have to go over here to aisle 5 to get sweet and low when you was really supposed to get the real sugar.
Sweet.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Exactly.
Thank you, man. I was gonna ask for that. I was gonna request that. BMU.
Right. But Loss, would you agree though that in recent times, or let me say I'll put this correct, the arts that you're referring to,
right?
I think there is some confusion amongst men in terms of the pursuit of those things. So you talk about music, art, dance, There's masculine dance. There is,
Right.
but those are oftentimes associated with
Feminine.
that lifestyle.
Right.
And so for a lot of guys, like I'm not having my kid in art class. I'm not having him in dance class. I'm not putting him in any of that stuff because he may turn out to be this, that, and the third. I think there is a perception out there that boys should be doing more masculine things, play sports or some other discipline. So we won't a lot of us won't even encourage, if we have sons, to pursue those things out of those things, out of those fears and concerns. So what do you have to say about that?
Well, here's the thing. What people don't realize, Mr. Bennett, is that art often helps you with the other things you need in life. Like a long time ago, when I first started doing music, I learned that there was a correlation between music and math. And math is a completely different language.
Right.
So once I started seeing math as numbers and numbers as a different language, the world opened up to me so I can see it differently. So I know how to talk to people. I know what effects music has on people. I know how to set an environment so people feel inviting and want to come in, that type of thing. So my thing is this: when people are not introduced to stuff like that, it's like I said earlier, they don't have an appreciation for it. Some of the greatest artists have been men. Some of the greatest chefs have been men. You see what I'm saying? Some of the greatest musicians have been men. But what I've been seeing lately is that a lot of times we cut those things because we feel like it's not purposeful. Everybody can't be a content creator. Everybody can't be a web developer. There's other things that we do outside of the internet. I think people need to get outside and touch grass. Now we'll go out and we'll watch sports or whatever, but do you play with your kids? Do you teach them how to do music? That type of thing. Do you teach them how to appreciate things and other things in other cultures? So that way, when you see stuff like we saw, then we automatically knew, if you've already studied Greek culture, that even though it may seem like they were mocking Jesus, but they were celebrating Dionysus. But those who are in the know that many people like to try to tie those two together. So in your mind, who's been elevated knows that they're mocking. You see what I'm saying? So there are different levels to intellect, but sometimes you have to understand that you have to start at the base level of what actually resonates with us. And generally, it's usually music. You have to find out what resonates with you. Even dogs and cats resonate with music. I don't know if you ever seen some of these videos where the dogs just be dancing to the beat. Well, sometimes that resonant frequency just take over, and there's nothing that you can do about that. But here's the thing: if we don't teach people to understand that, yes, we can cultivate music to do a certain thing, to move you in a certain way, to make you feel in a certain way, then what happens is we understand people a little bit better because it's all psychological. It's
100%.
All of that different stuff. But
I
my
agree.
thing is, if we cut that off, then we're in trouble.
And like I said, I'm right with you. I'm just saying we have to also acknowledge that there's a misperception, a false perception of music. Like, again, back in the day, if you sang in Glee Club or whatever, you were sissy. If you sang in Glee Club, they just, those are just things that they just didn't. Again, there's that perception out there that again we have to change the narrative.
But here's the thing, Mr. Bennett, if you're from the South, if you're from the South, that's the exact opposite.
I'm sorry.
No. What I was saying, Mr. Bennett, if you're from the South, that's the exact opposite. Because we come from a history of singing. All the way from the cotton field to the pulpit. You know what I'm saying? Till today. So that's nothing foreign to us. Right. But for somebody who's from up north who don't know nothing about that, who've never experienced a good old fashioned Southern Baptist choir singing, you can't understand.
But
the Mississippi Mass Choir.
Yeah, if the brother could croon though, and he's banging all the honeys, nobody's thinking he's a sissy. You know what I'm saying? But I think if the art was like dance, I would agree with you, Mr. Bennett. But more, right? Because it depends on what kind of art you're in. Maybe painting, dance, but music and being a musician. I think guys can rock out, man, especially if it's guitar, man. A lot of guys are acid heads, man.
The only instrument I ever heard with masculine, like drums, that was always considered like a masculine thing. If you played the drums, that was fine. Or like you said, a guitar, bass guitar, whatever. But again, the flute or the whatever. I mean, there's just even certain instruments. She was like, "Oh, you play the flute." Oh, so again, it's wrong. But I'm just saying, but that is out there.
I hear you.
And the misconception
matter of fact, Black Men and Filter had a video of a guy playing the violin with people's super chats. Most black guys don't see guys play the violin. I don't know if you still got it. I don't know if you still got it or not, Black Man.
But I went to a Yanni concert.
but
Oh,
think
Yanni?
about
I
this.
went to
In
one
the
of his
South,
concerts.
where I'm from,
Fantastic.
is a small town in Louisiana. Guess what? Most of the men who played piano were gay.
And that's a negative. And again, people saw this.
And
People
people
make that association. They see that and it's like, oh well, I don't want my son to turn out like that. So now we're going to keep you away from all that artsy stuff. You're not going to take tap dance because let's go like Alvin Ailey and all that modern dance stuff. They're like, no, I don't want my son in that. So
if you go to piano lessons, who you gonna get the piano lessons from? You go see because all the piano players weren't sugar. They weren't sugar free. They were sugar.
But BMU got a question for you.
Like, oh, you want to run over there to the man's house?
You from Louisiana, right?
Yes, sir.
When we found out that Cash Money was taking over for the 99 and 2000, what started that song? What instrument started that song off? It was a violin.
You're absolutely right.
It's a violin started that song off. It was a dude at the beginning with the violin. Right. And they brought everything in. So somebody had to play that violin. It's
But in my house, my mom played saxophone. My dad played guitar. All of us had to learn how to play a musical instrument, and we had to be great at it. So
where's your album then? Y'all should have been the BMU 5.
Get together with
I know that I play the piano. You know what I'm saying? I'll be Randy.
but think about it.
I'll be Joe. I'll be Joe.
Right. And my mom was a singer. My mom sang. My daddy sang. All of us, all my siblings can sing. I have a brother.
I should have went on the road. Y'all like the Partridge Family, man.
Like Donnie and Marie, right?
Right. I played trombone. I started when I was 10. Played all the way up till I was 19, 20, started having kids, just left it alone. I still have my original one in my attic right now, sitting there. My sister after me played clarinet, and my sister Kim played trumpet. My brother Nick was all of it. Piano, organ, tuba, trombone. He did everything. Tiffany, trombone. Shanterica, trumpet. He just started back over. All of us played a musical instrument. And we all were in the band in school and played concert band, all that stuff. And so, my mama told us, you're going to go. His name was Herman Wallace. He had a stroke, so he's not, in good health right now. But shout out to him. He taught all of us how to read music. All right. He taught us how the numbers, like Lost in Translation said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. You have to learn your music. You learn your counts. Right. And so we all had to learn how to read music. We all had to learn music. And my mom would get around Christmas time and man, we would jam it out. It would be a jam session in that thing.
But black man, here's the thing. What people don't realize is that churches used to be healing centers for music. You know, so the way that they were constructed, the acoustic properties of the building was such that it resonated to heal people.
Yeah.
And I think we've gotten away from that. Yes, you're supposed to get the word or whatever, but when you have that music in place, those pipe organs, those church bells, those things ring at a certain frequency. And that resonance also helps you to reach a certain level of spirituality. And since we don't have that, it's missing. Everything is synthesized. And synthetic music does not resonate with your body the same because there has to be a certain power that comes from that. It's not the same.
Because right now, even at church right now, you put your inner ears in.
Right.
And remember back in the day, it was just microphone audience. So now when you get to church, you feel like you're a celebrity. Because at church Sunday, right? I get there. The first thing they do is you get the box, put the box on your hip. You take the headphones, the inner ears, put the inner ears, run them down your back, plug it into the box, turn the box on. The whole time you're singing, especially if you're leading, all you hear in your ears, intro, 1, 2, 3, click, 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 1, 2, click, 1. That's all you hear. And you're singing to the people, but you're not enjoying the music because you have to keep up with the music in your ear. And so people be wondering, damn, what's some things in your ear for? And all you just hearing a white lady in your ear. Your intro, outro, chorus, 1. That's all you hear in your ear. And the people out there doing this here and jamming with you, you're not into it because them inner ears got you. You just have to.
Black man, here's the thing. Well, I don't know if you remember this or not. It used to be a communal thing. I think I did a video on that a long time ago. Think about it. When we had music played on a loudspeaker at different parties or whatever, and everybody decided that, hey, we're gonna gather together and we're gonna have a good time. Exactly. Well, enter the era of the Walkman and personal music. It's no longer personal. Everybody's got their earbuds in. You can't really share the same thing. So therefore, we're missing that communal element where we gather around each other and assemble ourselves.
Agreed.
You see what I'm saying?
Agreed.
It's a totally different thing. But if you notice the era when that Walkman came in until what we have now, people don't even know how to interact with each other. That's why men at women's throats, women at men's throats, they don't know how to act because they don't hang around each other. And the only time they can relate to each other is when they in the bed, and that's it. And they build nothing on the relationships or whatsoever.
And I miss going to the old Baptist church hearing that old Ricky Dillon. Walking to the door, you're like, oh my God, it's about to go down here this morning. So I mean, those days are over, man. The church has really evolved electronically. They've evolved technology wise. Like everything is technology now. Like it ain't back in the old day where you just plug the old organ up and just go to work. No, it's everything. You have to be there an hour before time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to get suited and booted. Your microphone got to be checked. Your inner ears got to be on. You got to hit a click track in your ear. Like it's a lot to it, man. So if you don't, so it's crazy. It's crazy.
Analog music is, think about it. If you ever listen, what's Angry Man? What's up, Angry Man? If you ever listen to music, analog music is warm. It makes you feel different. Digital music is cold and it's compressed. Digital music, I akin to the moon. You understand? But analog music is like the sun. If you ever been around somebody who had an old stereo that's got those tubes, you know what I'm saying? They play it sounds so much better. The music sounds more realistic than it is compressed. That's why a lot of times when people get on YouTube and they listen to different music or whatever, depending upon what kind of headset they got on or whatever, it's a totally different experience. So that's the reason why a lot of times people take time to soundcraft their doggone videos to make them sound better. Your sound, people will forgive your picture looking like trash, but let your video sound like trash. They is not gonna watch. Right. I'm telling you, it's just like that.
So Lost, are you more of a album, a record person, or CD or MP3, or you have like a record collection, like real with the turntables and stuff?
I was raised up on the records and 8 tracks, you know what I'm saying? and the turntables, you know, we had 45s, 33s, LPs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was back in the day when your whole album had to be good. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't none of this singles.
Yeah, you just put play and let it go. Yeah.
Right.
And just to hear that sound when you drop that needle.
Let me tell you something, Mr. Bennett. My favorite album of all time is Stevie Wonder's Songs in the Key of Life.
No, I knew you were going to say that.
Word for word, every song on that album.
It was a masterpiece.
I'm telling you, disc 1 and disc 2. You know what I'm saying? So that was when music was music for real, for real. You know,
it's kind of funny you brought that up. I like that album. It was when, because there's a cut on there. I forgot which one it was, where Bobby Humphrey at the end of the song is getting off on that flute.
Right.
Oh man, I can listen to that all day, man. She's just banging on the flute, man. And then listen, that was a great album. So
music is just not the same, because back in the day you have music you can make love to, music you could shuffle your feet to, music you could sit down and concentrate or sit down and meditate to, and it'll take you to a place. But now you turn music on right now and all you hear is put the dick in the back of my throat.
You can't understand the music.
What's up, AM?
It was
AM in the
lyrical.
building, Angry Man in the building. What's up?
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the one and only Angry Man. AM, what's happening, man?
What's good, AM?
What's up, bro? You on mute?
Oh, you muted, big dog.
You muted.
My bad. Y'all hear me now?
Yes, sir.
What's good, everybody?
What's happening, man?
What's good,
man? So they did that on purpose. You know that, right?
What, changing the music?
Yeah.
Yeah, it went from hold me in the night to fuck me from the back.
But the frequency, but BMU, the frequencies too. They changed the frequencies.
Even deeper than that, like the record players that they used to use back in the day, like Iz just said, had a different frequency.
Yeah.
So the music had like a sort of healing factor to it. And the vinyl records, those black records, all of the sound, like it's different. That's why when you go, when you listen to live music, it's a different experience. It's a different feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I like acoustic too. Like even some of the unplugged stuff they used to have back in the day, with just the instruments, man. I can listen to all that all day.
Have you ever heard Al Green Unplugged?
Man, I used to love Unplugged, man. Unplugged was good because let me tell you what made Unplugged was so good. Unplugged allowed you to hear all of the music. I'm talking about from the sliding of your fingers down the guitar and all of the stuff, the imperfections that makes music. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah. And what is it? Desktop or tabletop or what they do now? I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, I like that.
On NPR. Yeah.
Tiny Desk. Yeah, Tiny Desk.
Yeah, I like Tiny Desk a lot. Cause they had Shock on there about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
She killed it. So you know, if you look back at like all the older stuff, like even you can go as young as like something like NDRE. Give her a guitar sitting in a dark room by herself. Good God Almighty. But if you know, or the Isley Brothers,
you know, hell, Lauryn Hill. Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah,
come
say
on,
less,
man.
bro.
Just think about you sitting there. You heard ba-da-da-da-da, and you just ooh, baby. Now it's ba-da-ba-da. Fuck me in the ass, bitch. Turn me up, toot me up.
Well,
what you need to see. What you need to see is you need to see Sade live.
Say less, bro.
Say less.
And hands down, one of the baddest bands ever. I forget the name of the band. What's it called? It's called damn, I can't remember the name of that.
She actually named it. I always just thought it was Sade, but
she changes them.
Nah, there's another name for it. There's another name for it.
But while you're saying that, I tell you another band that's right up there. That goddamn Mint Condition, boy. Listen to me. Oh my God, bruh. Man.
And look, I say it all the time because I play him every once in a while at the beginning of my show, and I keep telling everybody, I said, man, Stokely is so underrated.
Man.
That brother can sing his ass off.
Oh my God.
I can't get no Simply Red.
Man.
No. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you the group. I'm gonna tell you the group. The group
Not Sexy Red, but Simply
introduced
Red.
me. Let me tell you something. The group I was introduced as a little boy that it got me hooked on music was Earth, Wind,
and
Fire.
The Elements.
Oh yeah.
Yes, Lord.
Man, come on. That was when music was music for real.
Yeah, I got introduced by the Whispers.
The
Man.
Whispers.
Come on.
The Rock Steady. Oh yeah. The beat goes, yeah.
Man, what? Man, get out of here. That's what I'm saying. Like it's just that music made you feel some type of way. Like when you heard it, it just did something to you. But you know, now it's just damn, like, bro, what happened? You know, that's why so many people be looking for these alternative radio stations, like just playing just R&B from back in the day, or something like that, man. Because
that's my Spotify. Yeah,
man, them bands, bro. That, like I said, Mint Condition, and who else was another good band, man, that was killing back in the day?
Tony.
Take six after seven.
Again.
Take after 6 after 7. Oh, Mr. Bennett, don't do it.
Look at here, sir.
It never rains in Southern California, baby.
Boy,
you know what I'm saying?
Who that song?
It feels good.
Last night I was inside.
As yet.
That's as yet.
Yeah.
Listen to the words. I makes me love to you. I saw the sun, the moon, the mountains, and the rivers.
They was lying. Hey, they was lying.
Well, shoot.
They see all that. Ain't none of all that. They lying.
Hey, look, BMU. The girl left for 1 hour. Got Jodeci in the desert in leather.
Man,
It's been an
I
hour
left
since you've been gone.
Well, that's how you know you was in love. You had to go to the desert and sing
You
about
want to
it.
hear something funny about Jodeci?
What's that?
Go back and listen to the albums again, and you'll notice that KC and JoJo are competing with
they
They're what?
compete with each other.
Competing.
They're competing with each other. Go,
Yeah.
go back and listen to it.
Oh yeah.
You
That's
can
the ooh,
hear
yeah.
them
That's
like
the ooh,
trying to
yeah,
out
man.
sing each other.
Well, I remember KC
That's
saying,
ooh yeah.
yeah, I remember
Like
KC
Eddie King
saying,
and David Ruffin going at it. You know what I'm saying?
in their little documentary, KC said when JoJo brought him the music and said, I started the group. And he said, oh, let me listen to the music. And he started singing the music. JoJo said, you are not singing with our group, so you can find your own damn group. And he was like, come on, man. So he started singing in front of the other guys, and that's how Jodeci was born, bro.
Look, we will
But
never.
JoJo did not want him in there at all.
We will never get the pleasure of a versus. I want a versus ad-lib sing-off between Cisco and KC.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
You talking now?
That'd be
Just
lit.
like a bird.
AM, I gotta
Let's
ask you.
fly free.
I gotta ask you, AM, because I've had this debate before. I gotta ask you a question. Drew Hill or Boys to Men?
Drew Hill, for sure.
Drew Hill. Drew Hill's filthy.
For sure.
Wait,
Oh, we got the
wait now.
What's
Stop.
up? What's up? What's up?
we got the DJ in the house now.
What's up, JT?
Now
Oh,
stop.
JT.
well. Hey, listen, Boys to Men had the most hits though.
We can't look. I get it, and I get why you would go straight to Drew Hill, because Drew Hill is not as simpish,
Right.
and they don't beg as much, right? So I'll give you that, but we cannot ignore them boys' harmonizing skill.
Right.
Oh, well, you're right.
Their harmonizing skill is just it's next level, like next level.
And you know, in Drew Hill, they talked a lot about getting played. Like
Yeah,
the
they
women were
did.
playing it. They wasn't doing no begging. They was talking about how they were playing their ass.
Yeah. Can I drop some? Hang on. Can I drop somebody that might be underrated here?
Oh, hold on real quick. They was begging when they said, please don't go away from me, though. Come on, man. That please don't go away from me. And let's don't wait till the water runs dry. They was begging a little bit. In the road, they begged a little bit.
Well, no, they was begging. No, Boys to Men was nothing but begging. Like, it used to piss
That was
me
like
off.
Keith
It
Sweat Jr.
made me mad because I didn't like the begging, but I loved the music. Like,
Please don't
that's
go
why
away.
when they came out with the song, in my opinion, the best song they had
Baby, I knew about it.
was
But I love you anyway.
Just Fine.
Please don't go.
With what, AM?
Doing just fine. That joint.
Oh,
with
yeah.
I'm
doing just fine.
I was like, they kind of redeemed themselves with that one a little bit.
Hey, but you know what, man? I'm gonna tell you something. I know this ain't gonna be sexy, but I cannot stand that fucking Keith Sweat, bro. I
Oh,
can't.
yeah. He can't sing a lick.
He can't sing that. He's not- That's a studio creation.
He could write, though. He a writing dude.
Yeah, that's just got a sinus infection.
Now, do you like Johnny Gill though? You like Johnny Gill?
Wait a second.
Johnny Gill can sing.
I can't let y'all do Keith like that.
Keith can't sing for shit.
I can't let y'all.
Thank you, Izzy. Thank you.
Like Keith, hold on for a second. First of all, let's be clear about something, okay? And you know this is Keith would come out on that stage and women would pass the hell out.
Yeah, because he be moving around and he can't sing. That nigga can't sing a lick. I went to a Keith Sweat concert. I was so mad. I went for free and I wanted my money back.
Look, here's the thing. He's not the best. He's not a vocalist, but he's a hit maker.
Yeah, he's a writer. He's a hell of a writer.
Yeah,
Don't get it twisted. He's a hell of a writer.
Yeah.
But he just ain't no real singer. Like, nah.
Right. Can I shout out somebody real quick? Underrated, in my humble opinion, Rick James.
Man,
Rick James. Rick James. If you take away the super freak stuff, just listen to Fire and Desire or Ebony. That brother had vocals, man.
Yeah.
He was, underrated. I'm sorry,
Mr. Bennett, underrated people. I gotta say this because he got played because he had a drug habit. And people try to clown him today. Bobby Brown.
Yes.
Bobby Brown.
Yes.
Underrated.
I look at him more as a performer, not a singer. But
Nobody could.
My prerogative.
No, that's not saying that's not. He's not like Rick James has got. I mean, bars. He can take it anywhere you want or whatever. The brother can just flat out sing. Those guys, I just look at as performers.
I don't know. I don't know if it's the cocaine, but something about them boys with that last name Brown, you cannot match their energy.
Man,
yeah. Hey, listen.
Brown, Chris Brown, James, you can't match their energy.
Damn, this is how you know. This is how you know a real good singer, right? When they could dance. Yo, y'all got to remember, Bobby Brown was doing full dance routines by Paula Abdul and still holding the note. That's a bad boy. Bobby Brown was a bad boy.
Bobby Brown was MC Hammer.
Bad boy.
Before MC Hammer
was MC Hammer. Hello.
But y'all be seeing him doing his uncle dance now, man. I can't, it's hard to watch.
I don't care.
He be up there 55 years old. He be doing his uncle at the party dance. I can't.
Look, I'm not worried about old Bobby. I like old Bobby. Look.
Yeah, I took my wife to the concert. It was H-Town. It was Silk. It was Bobby Brown. Bro, so we went in there, bro, and Bobby Brown came out and the power went out. Listen, the power went out, and when the power went out, Bobby say, "Fuck that shit, let's go," and he started singing without the music. No women. Bobby had that big old beer belly. He took that jacket off, threw it in the audience. Them women went nuts.
Yo, Bobby Brown is the Jay Prince of R&B.
Oh Lord! Oh Lord!
I got a question for you, Mr. Bennett.
I will never forget this about Bobby Brown. He gonna always be the king to me just for this. When he came running out of that helicopter and did that kick on that Ja Rule song.
On that Ja Rule song.
Last Temptation. I love that song.
Yeah.
That energy, bro. You can't imagine.
But Mr. Bennett, I got a question for you. You said Rick James, but you just say another underrated guy, Eddie Murphy.
Come on, bro. Eddie Murphy got the gayest video ever. Party all the time is the gayest video ever. Party all the time.
How can nobody mention Luther, man?
Because Luther ain't underrated.
The expectations, see, that's because that's just due to low expectations. You know what I mean? It's like anything else. If you don't expect much, then somebody says something, oh, he's pretty good. But if you expect something, then it's like, you know. Nah, so
can we get Barry White and Marvin Gaye on record?
Man,
on album, not on record, on album.
Well, my favorite album just to put on and play is Trouble Man soundtrack. I just play that from start to finish. I just let it go.
But see, when you talk about Barry White, you talking about a composer. Barry White is like Quincy Jones and you know, he's meshed together with a lot of different composers and singers at the same time. Barry White was so out cold. Him and Isaac Hayes was on that. There was not too many people on their level when it came down to that shit because they were composers. So they had symphonies and all that shit along with doing jazz and funk, and they doing it all at the same time. So the shit was kind of dope.
And this is Black Moses, rest in peace, Black. If you see me walking
one of the Temptations said that. He said one of the Temptations said Barry White was a ladies' man.
Of course,
you know how many kids Barry White got?
100.
How many kids he made?
Of course he was.
He said Barry White was the only man he knew that could give his phone number to a woman and she busts a nut while he giving it to her.
Barry White. That's Barry White, man.
But see, this is the thing about Barry White. Barry White was a good singer, a great composer, but that motherfucker was conscious as shit, bro. That motherfucker did not like none of that shit that was going on. If you look at some old Barry White interviews, all he was talking about was consciousness. That motherfucker was conscious as fuck, bro.
Oh yeah, he was. Especially when you're talking technology.
Y'all talking about people that's underrated. I gotta give a shout out to the DeBarge family.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They was in the shadow of the Jacksons.
Nah, they was just in the shadow of drugs and alcohol. They just
bro.
got high too much.
Look, I'm gonna tell you right now. Especially El DeBarge, right?
Yep.
Wait. The older DeBarge brother from the older DeBarge brother was the best. Bobby DeBarge was the best.
Bobby ain't had shit on L. L was a thug, nigga. L was a thug. That nigga was bad, man.
Everybody, listen. All the DeBarge family said Bobby was that nigga. That nigga from Switch. Wait, nigga.
Hold on. If Michael
Jackson, word switch, pause.
If there wasn't a Michael Jackson, listen to me. If there wasn't a Michael Jackson, El DeBarge's career would have been totally different. Would have been totally different.
Because first it was the Silvers that they try to make another Jackson, and they failed horribly.
They had 20 band members up in there, man. They couldn't feed everybody.
Yeah, couldn't feed everybody. Not off of what they was making.
They was trying to be the Osmonds.
That's what I'm saying. You need $10,000. You got 20 masters.
Everybody get a $20 bill. That's
$20 bill for all y'all.
MC
you know what I'm saying?
MTM in like in the 50s, I think, like 56, something like that. 50.
Did y'all see he's doing the American Music Awards this year or some shit?
Who's that?
Did y'all see his warm-up videos?
Hammer don't hurt him.
Yeah, Hammer beat somebody's ass.
Hammer gangster, man.
Listen, bro.
He's straight gangster. He's straight gangster, bro.
Hell, they said Suge Knight will fuck with everybody but MC Hammer. So MC Hammer.
Well, MC Hammer he was heavy affiliated with the Crips though. I mean, not the Crips, not the Crips. But it was the Crips was the ones that got in trouble with Hammer. Them niggas out there threatening him and all that shit. And he had them real what was them niggas, them folks or them rolling 60s, whatever the fuck them niggas was that he used to fuck with. Now understand also, Hammer was not embedded. He was not,
Hammer,
he wasn't embedded into gang life.
Yeah,
he just was affiliated with it because Oakland niggas didn't really do all that Bloods and Crips shit.
Don't have that blood and Crips.
Yeah, they didn't do that.
Look the video up MC Hammer real quick, man. I just see MC Hammer at 62 dancing like that.
Yeah.
62, fam.
Yeah, he'll beat somebody's ass. Hammer started out being a boxer, so
yeah, they talk about.
They'll tell you that's how he got the name Hammer.
So
He'll beat the shit out you.
With that thong on, nigga, I was out. I was like, come on,
I could watch that. Yeah, I was out too.
Pumps in the bump.
I was out. Like,
Here we go.
I was like, what is this? What is this?
I'm gonna tell you what's bad.
The cocaine got him. That's what it was.
I'm gonna tell you
that
cocaine got him.
I'm gonna tell you what's really
him and
sad.
Barry Sanders. I mean, not Barry Sanders, but Deion Sanders.
It must be the money.
Hey, what's really sad is whenever I do a show and I start, like, sometimes I'll be in the mood to play some old school, right? And so I'll play some old school tracks. What's sad is how many of us don't even know them songs of those bands.
Yeah.
We said the same thing, man.
It's sad. It's pitiful, bro. Like I did a show where I played rap songs, and then I went and played all of the old school songs that they got the samples from.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I bet you didn't even know this. Like, most of hip hop comes from them old school samples and shit.
Hey,
right?
but it's usually like 3 or 4 people. Listen, James Brown,
Yep, there you go.
Curtis Mayfield,
Yep,
Switch, and God doggone Isaac Hayes. Those are the 4 most.
Isaac Hayes was definitely, because that was where all the gangster shit came from.
James
Scarface
Brown,
used to listen to all
But
that.
you know what? James Brown has the Guinness World Record for being the most sampled artist in the world.
Absolutely, yo.
And what song was it? What song was it now?
Anyone?
Give the drummer song.
World, any man, yeah, man. Yo, James Brown.
That song is 7 minutes long, and they only took what was it? A sample of 30 seconds?
30 seconds, yeah.
Bro,
30 seconds.
When he told my favorite, one of my favorite, that's one of my favorite movies. Get On Up.
Yeah,
bro. When he told him, he said, "You got a drum. You got a drum.
Yeah.
He said, I don't care what you playing. It's a drum."
Yep.
And he told the guy, he said, "Well, if he plays this and I play this, we not gonna be on. We not gonna be on time." He said, "Are you trying to argue with God's ears?"
Right.
It is good.
Yeah, Maceo.
Maceo was the one, because Maceo. But listen, and you absolutely right when he was telling them that everything is a drum, because think about this: if you listen to a song, all the songs that he have, it sounded like he wasn't saying shit, but he was actually conducting the band. He on the one. He'd be like, "We gonna get it on the one. Should I take it to the bridge?" Right? And when he take it to the bridge, he count them off on 5. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and boom, 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 boom. What a lot of people don't know, what's the song everybody be listening to now? We're gonna have a funky good time, right?
Doing it to death.
Doing it to death, right? So it was remember he was telling the dude on the horn, what's his name? Fred something. Fred, whatever his name was, but you would hear him calling his name out. He said, "I don't want nobody to know what your name is right now, but we're gonna get you in here." When he tell him we want to flip the song over, he said, "But we got to do it in the D." And a lot of people don't know. A lot of people during those times, they didn't even know what he was talking about. We got to do it in D minor. We're gonna hit it in D minor, right? He'd just keep counting down to the D, sound D. To the D, and then he counted off, and then they flip it and take it right there and put it in D. D minor is what they do. That dude was so damn. That's why they say that's the hardest working man in the band.
So I guess when he said,
Hey man, he got another song. At the beginning of it, it sounded like he's saying "tat the people, tat the people."
Yeah.
He was speaking Spanish. He was speaking Spanish. Tat the people, tat. Hey, I used to cut that shit up so damn much, man. People used to get. That's why I couldn't be in the club all the time because I'd be like, man, I'm about to cut this motherfucking shit up all the way around.
That's why Eddie used to have me rolling when he used to do his James Brown impression, man.
Yes, sir.
That he had me on the floor, man.
I'm gonna get in the hot tub.
Listen,
Too hot in the hot tub.
Listen, let me explain to you why he did that.
In the argument. Man, whatever.
Listen, Black man, let me explain to you why he did that. Musically, sonically, what happens is when everybody is on the same beat, just like a drum, what you're doing is you're pulsating.
Yes.
And that is the beat, that's the funk. You know what I'm saying? It's like boom, boom, boom. That's the actual heartbeat of the music. And that's the reason why he told him to get it on the one. Because most of our music is on two. But if you hit it on one, it's a pulse.
2 or the 4.
It's the only genre of music. The only genre of music.
I just finna say that
white people can't mimic.
Then you know how hard it is to do? Like he said, God did that because only people that knew what the fuck he was saying was the people in the band, and they didn't want to get fined or fired. That's what it was. If you look at Funkadelic Parliament Funkadelic, right?
Yeah.
All of those dudes that was in that band was either in James Brown's band. It was another band that sounded just like James Brown. I can't remember the name of that band, but you would think that was James Brown. Like that was one of the most sampled too when it came down to it. But when you look at Parliament Funkadelic, bro, that nigga used to have like 30 people on stage.
Mm-hmm.
And they always playing something. You had somebody playing the spoons.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had my guy in the diaper. What was that dude name? The dude in the diaper. A lot of people thought he was just
Gary Scheider.
Gary Schneider.
Now y'all not gonna leave Mars Day in the time out this motherfucker now.
Man, Mars Day is my guy. You can't leave. Hey, damn, Terry, Jimmy Jam, and Terry Lewis.
Do you know Morris Day did not want to be a damn lead singer? He was the drummer for them.
Yep. Hold on for a second. Let me tell you something. Nigga, growing up, I wanted to be Morris.
Be Mars Day. Come on.
Hey, Mars Day is cool. I didn't want to be Prince. Of course,
until that nigga said I got rings on my finger, a couple on my toes. I was like, no, not on my toes. I ain't putting no rings on my toes.
Mars Day, a cold piece of work.
That nigga so cold.
That song, but you know that song, Cool, right? Cool. Prince wrote it. That was literally Prince's group.
Prince wrote half his shit.
That was But with Morris Day, he told him, he said, and if you look it up, he tells the story about how he ended up becoming the lead singer, right? And he told him, he said, Prince told him that we already got a drummer. We don't need a drummer because he was the drummer when they was in high school. So he wanted to be back in the band because Prince fired Alexander O'Neal. He was like, "This nigga ain't hit."
That's my guy.
Yeah. So yeah, he was. Yeah. A lot of niggas was about to whoop Prince ass. And Prince looked at the motherfuckers was like, "Nigga, what would Jesus do?" You know, that's how he looked at it. But when he fired Alexander O'Neal, he didn't have a lead singer. So when Morris Day wanted to be in there, he said, "All right, man, I hear you get the band back together, whatever." And he said, "I could be the drummer." He said, "I don't need a drummer." So he said, well, shit, the only thing you can do is be a lead singer. Now, Morris Day, the way the Morris Day said it, he said, I mean, what am I supposed to do? He said, put your hand in your pocket and be cool.
You seen that video?
His hand in his and be pocket. Cool. And that's where the song Cool came from.
Hey, Morris Day is the captain of Cool, man. That cool.
Man. Yeah, man. He had this little stick that he used to have. That was a comb.
And him and his boy, what's his boy?
Jerome.
And you know what I liked about it though? I like the movies with him and Prince though. Like Purple Rain and Graffiti Bridge.
But that was it now. But that was a major.
Under the Cherry Moon was dope.
Under the Cherry
You like that?
Bridge sucked. Under the Cherry Moon was a good story. They just couldn't act.
Under the Cherry Moon was a good music video. That's what.
Remember
Girls and Boys when they was in there and the motherfucker broke out. They broke out the speakers and all that shit, and they started singing that song "Girls and Boys" and shit like that. That soundtrack dope as fuck, bro. That soundtrack is dope.
Jerome say, Graffiti Bridge. Jerome say, "Hey man, this girl got hair on her chest."
That nigga Jerome was.
If you look at Jerome, you be like, "Damn, him." It's funny because you know him and what's my man name? Terry. Is it Terry Lewis or Jimmy Jam?
Jimmy Jam.
One of them, they're brothers. They look like twins.
They look just like
they look just alike.
Yeah, so
look just alike.
Bro, I just think, like I said, man, and we ain't gonna take Prince because Prince was just the guy. He was just the guy.
But man, look, them stories about Prince, man, it's the funny. You think the story that Charlie Murphy came up with about Prince, man, you hear some of them stories that some of these people, like they were talking about Prince when Prince and Michael Jackson actually, you know, they used to talk all the time. But Prince was like, you know, if y'all heard the story about Prince when he was talking about he was supposed to be in the video bad. And at the beginning of the song, it said, "Your butt is mine." And Prince said he looked and was like, "Who butt is mine?" It ain't gonna look good with me and you on this video talking about your butt is mine. And Prince was like, after they had dinner and all that shit, he was like, "I'm straight."
Yeah, somebody said it was with Prince. Prince was on tour, and when he heard that Michael Jackson had passed away, and the doctor had gave him that medicine, he passed away. They said Prince shut his whole tour down for a week. He was just in the hotel room by himself in the dark for a week after Mike passed.
But shit, that was crazy because you know he toured 4 years in a row, right? When Mike died, you can look this one up too. He played, I think it's like 4 or 5 songs of Michael. He played a shitload of Michael Jackson's, like he sung a shitload of Michael Jackson songs on there. That shit was crazy. Like if you see Prince's videos, man, you see the videos of Prince, you be like, damn, I didn't know this nigga had concerts that was doing that. 4 years in a row, he was just touring, and going crazy with it.
Prince was weird. He loved God, but he loved pussy. So let me tell you. So, what's the girl name? Cody Electra or whatever? She said Prince. She was at a concert, and she said Prince was walking to the car, and said Prince was walking, and he stopped and looked and told his entourage, the guy, security guy, go tell her. I said, come here. She came over. She said, "Hi, Prince. Nice to meet you." He said, "You're mine now. Get in the car."
I'm taking you to Lake Minnetonka.
She said she got in the car. She said Prince was she said on the list of men she's been with in her life, Prince he's probably number 1 or 2 in her life with the best sex she's ever had in her life. And she said after he had sex with her, she fell asleep. She woke up to him doing this. 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 35.
That
was the only motherfucker I ever seen that had thugs dancing. You know what I'm saying?
Prince was reading the Bible to her after he done stroked out. I'm just listening. The boy was on some other shit, man. But I hate he passed away. I think they took out him and Mike.
All of them, man.
No doubt, bro.
And Mike and Whitney.
They did because he was asking for his masters. It was all. He
wasn't asking. He went and got them bitches.
Mike on Elvis catalog. Mike on
and the Beatles and the Beatles
and
joint.
And look, and right before Mike passed away, guess what he was talking about?
He was trying to buy what?
He was buying Marvel. He was
Marvel.
buying Marvel.
He's trying to borrow Marvel. Yep,
Sure
I heard
was.
that. Trying to buy Marvel. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know who it was. Hey, was it you lost where I was telling you? You know that song. Well, not ready for the world, but what's them dude's name? I can't wait to get to school.
True. That's true.
True, right?
That's true. Yeah.
So when you hear them sing that song is dope as hell until you hear the originator. That's the Jackson. When you hear the Jackson version, you be like, nah, Troop didn't do it justice.
That's where
bro.
Troop, if you notice when Troop is singing, they got that one part where the dude says, baby. He got that from Mike. That was a Mike ad lib.
Hell yeah.
Hey, but Michael Jackson got a lot of ass to see. People don't understand. Michael Jackson got more ass than the toilet seat. Watch this.
He was getting cougar ass and all kind of shit.
Man, they had Mike. I don't know. Have y'all ever seen the
Liz Taylor was getting
Brooke Shields.
He was getting slutted out.
And Brooke Shields booty.
Elvis' daughter.
Yeah, Mike was in the car, and Mike was like, the girl came to Mike. She said, "What?" In the window, Mike said, "I want that one."
If you go back and look at the Jackson 5, there's one video on YouTube that they always play where Mike, I forget what song they're saying, but Mike has the hat, the purple hat. He got tilted to the side. If you go back and you just watch him singing, you know that nigga was different.
That's Who's Loving You, I think. Who's Loving You?
Who's Loving You? Yeah.
If you go back and watch that, you can.
He was like 12 years old.
Yeah,
I think he was either 9 or 12.
10, he's like 10. Yeah, he's like 10.
I think his brothers held him back.
But that brother was singing the way he was singing at that age. You would have thought he was a star for 30 damn years.
Yeah.
Like he was different.
Yeah, he was doing his Frank Sinatra shit, man. He was on some Frank Sinatra shit.
I'm gonna get out of listen, man.
Take your time, man. Take your time.
I'm gonna tell y'all somebody that had some vocals for your ass, and even to this day, colleges are studying his vocals. That goddamn Freddie Mercury.
I knew you was gonna say it.
Yeah, Freddie was a beast.
I knew you was gonna say it.
Queen, you know the reason why? The reason why his vocals. You know why his vocals was like that?
Why is that?
Because of the way it was his teeth.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was his teeth. For some reason, the way his teeth was
that nigga had 64 teeth. He ain't had
it gave him a different type of range.
Hey, listen, hey, those are bad. Hey, them Queen. Hey, listen, them Queen boys, those some bad boys, though, man. They were so bad. Hey, we will rock you.
Fat Bottom Girls is my favorite
They had
song.
all the hits. They had all the hits.
Look, I played it on the show. I was playing it on the show. I was playing We Will Rock You, and I had to yell it out. I said, "Yo, this is back in the day. We didn't care who Freddie Mercury was screwing. It didn't even matter to us. We just wanted to hear the music."
Because he held it down for a minute.
He did. You know,
Wait, and then they took the hip hop. You know, they took the hip hop. That's when they did Another One Bites the Dust.
That's what I'm saying.
That shit was dope.
For years, niggas thought them was niggas. Them wasn't no niggas. Nigga, that was Queen.
That was a rock band from England.
Now you talking about Bobby Caldwell.
Yeah, I thought Bobby Caldwell was black.
Wait.
Yeah, Bobby Caldwell, nigga.
Rest in peace, my
dude. Wait a minute.
That is a nigga.
What you won't do?
That song is perfect.
That's a nigga.
There's no look. If you go back and you listen to that song, though, I think BMU said you play the instruments, right?
Yeah.
So if you go back and listen to the way that song is composed, there's two songs in life that I will say are the best composed songs ever. Is Bobby Caldwell, What You Won't Do, and Can You Stand the Rain?
Yeah, that Can You Stand the Rain?
That's
perfectly.
Hey, now y'all not gonna sleep on Michael McDonald either, now.
But that's still Michael McDonald's kind of nuanced. Michael McDonald's kind of nuanced though. He got nuanced.
No, hey, listen to that one song that he was talking about. The wise man got the power, right? When he talks about that. The thing about Michael McDonald is that he always sound like he's singing with eating a ham sandwich. I always thought the man was eating a ham sandwich.
Well, see, here's the problem with it, JT. Here's the problem. There's only certain people that can sing in that high pitch,
right?
And I'm going to accept it. I will accept Eddie Kendricks.
Oh yeah.
I will accept Ronald Isley.
Smokey Robinson.
What's my man's name? You're Smokey. And what's my man's name from Earth, Wind, and Fire?
Oh, Bailey, Philip Bailey.
Philip Bailey. That's Earth right there. That's Earth right there. Yeah.
You know, Earth, Wind, and Fire was a jazz group. They were a jazz group, and they was not feeling Maurice White when he would start coming with all this shit with the goddamn the Earth is this and all that. They wasn't feeling that shit at first. If you look at their shit and then you listen to them, man, every song that we write the songs, and when you got the what about every song has a message in it, right? They just wanted to do what Kool and the Gang was doing. A lot of people don't know that too. Kool and the Gang was a jazz band before they started doing funk. Yeah. And when you hear them, like Summertime, right? That probably was the last time they did some motherfucking jazz shit. Everything else, they went on and got your boy JT, And he was like, come on over here, man. Oh, yes, it's ladies' night. They start fucking around with that type of shit because this is where it was going. But jazz
what y'all
was
say
the
about
shit.
what y'all say about old boy from Earth, Wind and Fire? Well, I keep forgetting his name. What's his name?
Philip Bailey.
Philip Bailey?
Not Philip Bailey.
Oh, you talking about Maurice White?
Maurice White. Look, I gotta point this out. Y'all gonna hate me for doing it. This light skin hate been going on for a long time, brother.
Come on, man. We having a double discussion, man. Come on now, dog. Come
JT,
on now, dog.
JT, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
That goddamn George Benson. Listen, now
Yeah,
y'all. Just give me the night.
Hey, wait.
George Benson was playing a guitar riding and rocking skates.
Hey, since you want to go there, then you got to give Al Jarreau, nigga. Al Jarreau.
You do know that Al Jarreau
and Jeffrey Arbon. Al
JT got the
Jarreau.
Now, yeah, you do know that Al Jarreau actually was who was rocking with George Benson. They got, I think, 2 albums together.
Yeah.
They both sounded like.
And George Benson was, man.
Wake up, Mr. Radio.
Man, forget both of them. Give me the poet.
Oh, shit.
Oh no, Angry Man. Hold on, one time before you go there. Y'all remember George Benson was playing the fucking guitar and rolling on roller
rocking skates. That's what I said. He was playing the guitar, rocking skates.
Yeah, bad boy.
Listen, audience, if
with
y'all
some
didn't
bell
know,
bottoms on too. It was rocking them bitches.
JT used to write for pop-up video. But JT, got a question.
I'm gonna throw somebody out y'all that forgot about.
I'm gonna ask you a question. It's a newer school guy. We're talking about vocals. What is the actor Jamie Foxx rank with that?
You saying as far as vocals?
As a singer? Oh, he up
there, bro.
He nice. Jamie's nice.
His first. A lot of people don't know he got a song called "Candle in the Wind."
What'd you
What'd
you say about Angry? What'd you say?
Jamie Bass.
Yo, he's what? No, he's not. Yo,
no, Angry Man.
Yo, Jamie Foxx got range. Jamie can sing, man.
Jamie got. Listen to that song, "Candle in the Wind."
Yo, he got
I'm
range.
telling you.
It's candle in the window.
In the window. Okay, in the window. I was almost there. Shit. God damn it.
Jamie Foxx got range. You talking about
I was there.
There's a reason. There's a reason that nigga pursued comedy first. There's a reason why he pursued comedy and acting harder than singing.
No, because he wasn't smooth looking. That's why.
You know what, Angry Man?
But Sexy Red sampled him.
I'm gonna tell you why. He's short. And he's funny looking. That's why he didn't pursue music first. But that nigga Jamie Foxx a bad boy.
Back in that time, you know how many short, funny looking dudes was singing? Come on, bro.
Not that many.
Let me ask this, Angry Man, because I know you keep up with the news. Did you see the Ray J interview?
That nigga
that nigga say he will eat Tyrese alive in vocals.
I'm gonna say this about Ray J. Most people don't know this.
Yeah, boy, wish.
Ray J is a diabolical ass nigga.
Yeah, he is.
People don't realize how much shit he's involved in. Like
everything, yeah.
That nigga got his tentacles in everything. What?
And
like
he's
one
smart
of these
too.
days we gonna find out he's like a 5-tier super villain above freaking P. Diddy. We gonna find this out.
Listen, hold on. Ray J is the Daryl Long of fucking.
No, he's not. He really isn't, bro.
No. You are absolutely right, Angry Man.
Yo, Ray J is the Daryl Long of fucking music.
I went down a rabbit hole. I saw that interview with Vince Staples, right? I saw that interview with Vince Staples where he was saying that Ray J played a huge role in every aspect of like hip hop, right? And he started breaking it down, started pointing out little instances where Ray J was involved in shit, right? Not nothing spectacular, just for some reason he was there. Why was he there, right? And then I'm watching some other stuff, and it's like this nigga was dating. He was dating one of the girls from 702 that passed away.
Yep.
It was one of the twins. It was a twin.
He was dating one of them.
Yes.
He was also in that room. He was in that hotel room with Whitney.
Yes, he was.
Yes,
he was.
Okay, he was dating
That
Whitney.
nigga is all over the place. That nigga is responsible for the creation of Kim Kardashian.
Yes, he is.
Oh, no doubt.
Chris.
No doubt.
Chris.
Like that nigga's everywhere. And this is what Vince Staple told me. This is what he said on the thing that really messed me up, right? He was like, yo, ever since Ray J got into it with Fab ain't been the same ever since.
He hasn't, because when he told him about the booty goons, that shit just kind of fucked him up.
He meant that.
Face change.
He meant that. Done, bro. And it's
And-
like,
and listen,
look,
hey,
look,
what
Ray
you
J,
don't
the
know-
only
wait, hold on.
dude I've seen in recent history that was on a show and he sicked a woman on another woman.
AM, listen,
Yeah.
you missed
Yeah.
you missed hold on, AM,
Yeah.
AM, you missed something though.
What's
Yo,
that?
do you understand in that video what they was talking about? The chick that Donald Sterling had, Ray J was messing with that chick
Yes.
too, and owned and had a whole apartment complex.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Wow.
In his interview, he was talking about the money he had that his parents was giving him, and he was fucking that money off. All the money, he was like, look, he said, man, I done screwed up so much damn money just trying to do shit because his sister had a career. He didn't have shit going on. He was trying to find. He was just trying to find himself, and his parents was giving him an allowance.
Ray J
And the
be
money
lying.
he was
Listen,
getting, man, he was doing shit with
Hey,
it.
wait, hold on, JT.
But
Ray J, hold on real quick. Ray J lied to y'all ass. Y'all forgot. Ray J was in that Thea show. Ray J was on Moesha.
Right.
Ray J was acting his ass off back then.
No. I'm not saying that. That's what he was saying. He was saying that he was getting into shit. He said, but he was still in the streets. He was like, man, he said, my parents was trying to keep me out of the streets, and they were trying to get me to get my life together. He said, man, I had an allowance that I was screwing off so damn much because you got to remember, his sister, she was working for her money. That nigga wasn't. It took him a minute to get it, but because he was afforded that. If you see what this nigga got going on now, man, you be like, motherfucker.
Yeah, the Raycom headphone.
All that shit. He got a
scooty
stuff.
bikes, some scooters, little bikes and shit, all that shit.
This is what was
Electronic
telling.
scooters,
This
all Ray
is
J.
what was telling though. This is what was telling though, right? I'm telling you right now, Ray J is a whole supervillain. Randy don't even want him coming to the family events no more. Right?
Yeah.
This
He's something
dude
different.
showed up. This how you know this dude got a different energy. He showed up to the Breakfast Club with no shirt on and some headphones, bro. This Negro around the same time Rick Ross got punched in the face, somebody swung on Ray J. Right? Now, when Rick got punched, he kind of jumped back or whatever. When that dude swung on Ray J done like this.
Right.
I was like, bro, like niggas better stop playing with Ray J. Little niggas different, bro.
He ain't no. This is the thing. He a little nigga. That's the thing.
He don't little motherfucker. Let me address something real quick. Travel one. We can talk about what we want to talk about. Listen, do me a favor. Go in your refrigerator, get your peanut butter, spray it across your piss, and let your dog eat it like you normally do. All right, so
That was diabolical. That was diabolical right there.
What's going on with
Hey, and listen, Travel One is a conglomerate of miserable niggas because she on everybody damn straight. Travel One.
Hey, but let me ask you this: if there was
nigga.
a versus between, if we could go back and all these people were still alive, I'm gonna give y'all two sets: Jodeci and Drew Hill.
They're still alive.
The Temptations and the Spinners.
That's gonna get
It had just been a good. Okay, so let's go with Drew Hill and Jodeci. Drew Hill probably eat their ass up. The Beautiful one, I don't know a song that'll fuck with the Beautiful.
Yeah,
I don't know a song that'll, because that nigga Jazz come in there, dog. He kill at that. Now, if he can't sing it like he used to, he might be hurting.
No,
but
if you got, I'm sorry. If you got Jodeci, if you got young Jodeci, I'm talking about Black Boots Jodeci. I'm talking about KC with the shirt off and the bird.
Hey, with the big. Hey, man, with the big ass vein going.
Hold on. They just
and Devontae with the Roger joint in his mouth, bro. I don't know.
Listen. All you gotta
that'll be a good one.
All you gotta do is replace Dalvin and get their cousin. Go ahead and get Rico Barrino in there. Shout out to my man Rico Barrino.
Oh, Rico Barrino. What happened with him, man?
Rico's a bad. He's still working. Rico a bad.
I got
a
better verses for you. I got a better verses for you.
Rest in peace, Rico.
And not a musical versus.
Mm-hmm.
A fight versus an actual physical fight. Who do you got between Jagged Edge and 112?
Jagged Edge
all the way.
Jagged Edge all day.
Them two dark skinned niggas, dog, ain't no joke.
Jagged Edge all day.
I don't know about Slim, but them two dark skinned niggas, dog.
Hey, Jagged Edge. I mean, 112.
I got Jagged Edge.
You know that Drew Hill, Cisco, and old boy, one of the dark skinned niggas got into it.
Bruh, he has the dark skinned dude from Jagged Edge. He got 3 adversaries he can't stand.
Yeah,
he can't stand Cisco. He can't stand Slim, and he can't stand RL. If he see RL,
he gonna slap the shit out of him.
Ringo? Who's talking about Ringo from Jagged Edge? He's talking about Ringo from Jagged Edge.
One of them.
I think it's Ringo. When did Ringo? Ringo and Cisco had got into it. They got into a fist fight, dog. It's on video. You can watch it.
You know this. You know this.
How bad Cisco gets his ass beat?
You know this because of who your uncle is, right? But them niggas, Jagged Edge, them niggas used to fight each other.
Yep,
I believe it. Yeah, I believe it.
too. Casey and JoJo used to fight all the damn time, right before they go on stage.
And listen, the whole time that 112, I did a show with 112 before. The whole time they was talking about Mace. I was like, if these niggas mention Mace one more damn time, yes.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm lying, I'm flying. I don't got wings. The whole time they was talking about Mace, fam. This was in the height. They could sing though. They some singing young men,
but Mace homeboy. Look, hold on now, because Mace homeboy got something to say about
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. But nigga slap fire out.
Shout out to Killer, man.
With his whining ass, bro.
Hold on, real quick. AM, no. You talking about Harmony? See, you didn't come with me. I don't think did. I know? Yeah, you didn't come with me that time when I tried to get you to go to women's empowerment. Remember that time I tried to get you to go? Them dudes was there. No, my uncle used to do the shows, man. And so my uncle did the shows for women's empowerment. And so I worked the event. I didn't actually go, but 112 was there, right? And them little dudes, man, they harmonize, man. Their harmony is way better than Boys to Men Live, man. And I've seen both of them. Them boys,
that's what they built like whistles.
You will never look. Nowadays, nobody will ever be able to go back and say, "Yeah, I seen Angry Man at Women's Empowerment." You got
that bread, man. You got that bread, man. That bread.
If y'all want to talk about harmony, Take 6 was a motherfucker.
Yeah, I never saw them live.
So, Take 6. I used to see them a whole lot because they come to Detroit a lot because of the whiners and shit like that.
And they did the theme for Martin too.
Hey, but wasn't it 3 brothers though? There was 3 brothers.
No, it was actually 6 of them dudes. One of them was it was 3 brothers, and it was Brian McKnight's brother.
Brother, right.
Right. Brian McKnight was supposed to be in the group.
Yes.
But he was like, fuck that. I'm about to do this shit by myself. I'm solo dolo over here.
Speaking of, if you, this is the craziest thing. Speaking of women's empowerment, Brian McKnight was on that same show. When I tell you there was probably, the stadium was full. Everybody, you could hear a pin drop when that nigga was singing. Them women was in a trance. It was the craziest thing I ever seen in my life, man. I think
before this man got injured, I think he was the baddest fucking man on the planet. That goddamn, if Teddy Pendergrass, listen, if Teddy wouldn't have had that wreck, he would have been one of the biggest, richest fucking R&B singers of all time.
Hold on, black man. No. Teddy was a motherfucking force to deal with then. Nigga, they had some motherfucking jeans.
Yep.
He was endorsing jeans. He was the teddy bear. No one was loving that dude, man.
He was on his way to the fucking.
If you listen, that's why I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to do a damn R&B show, man. Fuck the damn monetization and shit like that. I'm gonna have to do one. It's some songs that Teddy got, bro. Whether he was with the Hail Melvin and the Blue Notes or not, that motherfucker was powerful, dog. Him and David Ruffin, them because they were, tenants. Them motherfuckers was out cold, bro. I'm talking about out cold.
Guess what? No, don't fuck. You, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Go on Amazon and type in Teddy Pendergrass and watch that documentary. Don't fuck with that nigga. He'll beat the brakes off your ass.
You know how big that motherfucker was? Teddy was like 6'4".
Wait, hold on. You gotta be big to fight them Transformers off you, man. You gotta
First of all, you're not gonna have no
So
wins.
when do you guys have Lionel Richie?
You're not gonna have no wins.
I was about to say the same thing, RP.
Rich than a motherfucker, Richie than a motherfucker. That motherfucker wrote songs for everybody. And he can
Marvin Gaye versus.
Hold on, bro. Hold on.
You're not gonna have no wins with them big ass 70s old school.
Hold on,
niggas.
y'all.
Yeah, Angry Man.
And let me tell you something.
Now, Angry Man on that
Was he
documentary,
not in high school?
they said the promoter told Teddy P, "We got you 50 grand for doing the show." After the show was over, they said, "We don't have the money. We'll get back to you." They said Teddy. They said the promoter went to the back in his office. Teddy P went back there with him. They said Teddy P came out with his necklace, his ring, took all the money out of his pockets and beat the dog shit out of him.
Y'all was a country boy. You can't be fucking around with.
Say this, I'm gonna land my plane. Then Teddy P went and one of his homeboys said, "Hey man, you may need to go look at your contract." Teddy P went and looked at the contract. The girl he was dating at the time, she was fine as fuck. But anyway, she signed that she gets 70%, he get 30.
Damn, she played the fuck out of his ass.
Let me tell you something. Any dude,
Teddy got mad, and Teddy got on the tour bus. He looked at her. She already knew she fucked him over. He got on the tour bus. While he was on tour, he left her. Said, "I don't want you around me. Just stay at the house till I get back. We'll talk about it when I get back." They said she was coming from the grocery store, walking up to the house, and they put the key in the door. Somebody walked up behind and shot her in the back of the head twice with a .38 revolver.
Damn.
Look. Any brother that was a grown man in the 70s is a problem.
Right.
You understand me? Them dudes had a different type of strength, bro. And I feel like it's because they actually ate real food. You feel what I'm saying?
You ain't bullshitting.
And Mr. Pan was a grown man.
A pork chop was a pork chop, nigga. That was
Mr. Pan. Our Pan was a grown man in the 70s.
I was 18, man.
You spend the board.
Wait, hold on, but
I would never
that's
get
a grown
into
man.
arm wrestling. Let me tell you something. I would never get into an arm wrestling match with R-Pain. Ever.
He gonna ball that. He gonna ball his lips up. He gonna say,
grab you with that one
No, but
hand.
who said? Listen, y'all try to go past Lionel. Y'all can't go past that nigga.
Lionel was the motherfucking man.
Listen, this is what he coined.
Fuck Lionel Richie. Fuck Lionel Richie.
Crazy.
I found that
Fuck
material things I thought had so much value. Oh, girl, didn't really have any value at all.
Just to be close to you. Now you gotta listen, Izzy. You're gonna have to listen to him, dog.
Man,
trust
fuck
me when
Lionel
I tell
Richie,
you, boy.
man.
Lionel Richie was
I
that
don't
dude,
like that
and
nigga, man.
he's
Go back
rich
and listen.
because he writes songs for all these niggas that you like.
No, listen,
back
I don't
and
know what it
listen.
is. I don't like that. You know how it's
Go
just
back
somebody
and
you don't like. I don't
listen
know why.
Because
I
he
don't like
light skinned. That's what it
No,
is. That's what it is,
don't
angry
start that
man.
shit. Don't start that light skin shit.
Go back and listen to Easy.
So
I
Go
love
back and
Smokey, so
listen
what's up
to
with
the
that?
lyrics of Easy.
I got
Yeah.
Easy like Sunday morning. I know,
Easy
but
like
listen,
Sunday morning is so damn
Hey, listen, hold
cold,
on.
man.
Hey, JT, listen. I like Smokey. You don't get no more light skin than Smokey.
How you gonna like Smokey, but you don't like
love
Lionel
Smokey.
Richie?
I love Smokey.
Yeah,
Smokey
I
is
don't
over
like
there.
Lionel Richie.
Hey, listen. Hold on. Hey, Smokey
Harry
Robinson.
Belafonte
That's
like
not fair.
you.
That's
Lionel
not
Richie
fair.
is cornball, man.
That's not fair. Is because who doesn't like Smokey? That's not fair, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody
come on,
likes
man.
See his old ass on stage dancing.
Oh,
That
Smokey
shit was
cool
funny as hell.
I better leave
Just doing
Smokey
the damn
alone.
bunny hop.
Smokey is 100
You know
years
what I'm
old.
saying?
Smokey
Hey,
said, I still got it, goddammit. I was
listen,
Kept that doing the bunny hop. You know what I'm
that nigga
saying?
started gyrating on them hoes. He wasn't.
I better leave
Smokey
Smokey
Robinson
alone.
is at least 100 years old, man. I'm
So
telling you.
is
He started hip bumping with the drums. He was like, boom,
Hey, in the
boom.
60s, listen, in the 60s, Smokey Robinson was 60 years old. So y'all just stop playing with those Robinson.
Right.
She.
So I'm telling y'all, Smokey
was the P. Diddy of his time.
That's don't do Smokey like that. Don't do Smokey like that.
Nigga. I ain't about to fall back on that shit.
Smokey Robinson is the Mum Ra of rock and roll. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
He be in the back trying to transform.
Ancient spirits of evil.
Hey, y'all talking about people fighting. Y'all talking about Teddy P fighting. Y'all talking about Teddy P fighting. Y'all forgot about James.
Yeah, James was whooping ass, dog. That's why niggas said they get mad at him because he didn't pay him. And he said, I told you I'd get you next week. Now, pass the people now. Now you better go on. You better go on now. You better go on. I told you I was gonna pay you next week. That don't know.
Yes, sir, Mr. Brown.
Yes, sir, Mr. Brown. Yeah, James Brown was old in the 60s. He was.
Yes, he was.
Right. IRS want their money. Who the hell is IRS? What's that?
Hey, when he came with that shotgun, hey, look, that's when he was like, I'm getting too old with this crack shit. I got to go back to cocaine. If y'all see that damn interview he had, dog, he was high to the motherfucker. When he say, nothing's wrong. He said, I feel good.
When James died, he was like an old Chinese lady. He was out of there.
He was like, I'm getting too old with this drug shit. I can't. He probably just was smoking some weed too, man.
Hey, look, somebody said, yeah, and they used to work farms at a young age. That's another reason.
Yeah.
Any of them dudes that used to work, bruh.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like our pain said he used to work in the farm. He'd go jack off and he'd look down at his dick, the skin off of it. They couldn't even
Let me tell you something, Black man. It's a beautiful thing. Like in Detroit, I was downtown. I was downtown hanging out in downtown Detroit today, man. I'm not today, but this weekend. Let me tell you, it's a beautiful thing, man. When you can see a crackhead, like a real life crackhead that has survived to his 70s. This nigga was still built. I don't know if you ever seen a motherfucking built crackhead. Them niggas be skinny and built. You be like,
they be
yeah, I saw that. I said, there it is right there. That nigga looked like he was about 70 years old. He might have been 36. That's probably all. Life was just whooping his ass.
Yeah, that's the side effect. That crack make you old in the face quick.
Hey, RT,
I'm gonna change this up just a little bit. What happened? I ain't gonna ask you this, because I know you talk about stuff like this on your show all the time. What happened to the masculine action stars of the 80s and the 90s? Why don't we have those in the 2024?
Don't get AM started.
I'll break you.
They had to get rid of that so that they could push the feminist agenda and feminize boys.
Yeah.
They had to get rid of it. They couldn't have, like, bruh.
Imagine.
If you go back right now, they got episodes on YouTube of A Man Called Hawk.
Oh man!
Shout out to Avery Brooks, man. Shout out to
Avery Brooks. If you go look at them episodes, bruh, I'm talking about it's so much testosterone coming out, bruh. It make you feel weak as hell just watching them.
Did you see his gun, man? Wait, how inadequate does his gun make you feel?
Bruh, he went into this garage because he was looking for some information. And this white boy was up under the car working on the car. He came in there. He had on a white trench coat with the shades and shit. He went over there and started asking him questions. And the white boy didn't want to ask the questions. And he grabbed the jack like he was going to drop it. And the other dudes started looking. He turned around. He said, "What?" Them niggas went back to what they was doing and shit.
Hey,
he used to growl once in a while, man. He would growl.
If I'm missing somebody, y'all let me know. Steven Seagal, Dolph Lundgren, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone. Who else we had?
Lee Majors.
Come on.
Who's the black dude that played Apollo?
Michael Jai White. Michael Jai White.
Yep.
Carl Witherspoon.
John Witherspoon.
No, Carl
Witherspoon.
Carl
Witherspoon.
Charles Bronson. Think about bang, bang, bang.
Charles Bronson.
John Witherspoon. Hey, Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood. Charles Bronson.
Fred Williams.
Yeah, Fred
Williams.
Jim Brown.
Richard Roundtree.
Yeah,
Yep.
Jim
Chuck
Brown.
Norris.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Chuck Norris. Bruce Lee.
Chuck Norris. Look, I told everybody the other day. I said if Chuck Norris and Jason Statham got into it with each other, it would tear a hole in the time-space continuum.
Shout out to Jason Statham, man.
Love Jason Statham,
But
bro.
man, listen,
Yeah.
man,
Number 3, The Hard Way. That was
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
You know what I'm saying? Jean-Claude, I seen that motherfucker at 60 years
JVD.
old do the splits between 2 semi trucks. I said, what the fuck is
Well,
going on?
Yeah, but they don't want to promote masculinity. So
That's
a
why
lot
the
of
Black
those,
Panther was never recasted.
yeah,
They was gonna
They,
kill
they,
him
they
off
made him.
anyway.
They said, "Oh shit, what have we done?" They were blowing
They
the
was
whole,
gonna kill him
the
off
whole
anyway.
game. He said,
Our
yeah,
pain.
when he died-
Before he
Right.
died, they were gonna kill him off anyway.
Yep.
You know that? Because he was upset about that. They had articles on that way before he passed away. Matter of fact, it's on the YouTube right now. On the quartering. Go
Before
look
who
it up.
passed away? Before who passed away?
Chad Boseman.
Disney said, "There's no way we could have all this
thing.
bullshit and
Here's the
have
thing.
a black king like that."
But here's the
live
thing,
in
though.
comics."
Here's the thing, though, and this is what y'all gotta. If y'all are not comic book heads, right? What you gotta understand about the character Black Panther in the comics. The character you saw on screen, he was cool,
but it wasn't the comic book.
Nowhere near.
Oh yeah.
Like the comic book character was cold, bruh.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Captain America show up to damn Wakanda and shit right there at the border, and Black Panther show up talking about where you think you going. I ain't give you permission to come up in here. And Cap be like, well, I came here, I don't care why you came here. And would whoop Cap's ass. Like straight up and down.
And
Like,
keep in mind, in the comic books, Black Panther was married to Storm.
They had a whole arc that was going.
Yeah,
The battle
and-
with the Submariner, the whole 9
And
yards.
he was the smartest person on earth. But they messed around and gave that to Shuri this go round.
Yeah.
They gave like a 10-year-old boy at a soccer game. They didn't get the fuck out. She didn't get the fuck on.
Yeah, they did
like for real.
They did a joint called Marvel Knights where they did like a series of Black Panther. In fact, the dude that played in Blood Diamond was doing his voice.
Digimon Hunter?
Yeah. And there's one scene where the white dude in the government was talking to King T'Chaka, and he said, well, T'Chaka, something. He's like, who gave you permission to use my first name? He said, I get what the problem is. He's like, anytime you encounter a black man that you can't buy with a plane full of money and white women. That nigga, I'm telling you, them niggas was cold in the comic, bro. Them niggas was cold. Like
that's why, and that's why. What's the man's name that created the Marvel shit?
Stan Lee.
Stan Lee. That's why when he said what he said about Martin and Malcolm, bro, that fucked my head up.
Yeah. Oh, Professor X and Magneto.
Yeah, he said Magneto was Malcolm, and Professor X was Martin.
That was the
genius. Do it though because they wouldn't have never published this shit.
Well, yeah, see, that's the genius in what he did. Like the whole, if you look at the whole thing with the mutants or whatever, right? All you have to do is associate it with black people.
Yep, exactly.
So what he was doing was he was making people feel sympathy for black people without knowing that they was feeling sympathy for black people. Because if you're looking at that and you're looking at how mutants are being treated or whatever, you're going to associate it with what was going on in society.
And then the worst people in the world got that doggone franchise. The worst people in the world to get the franchise got the damn franchise.
That's right.
You see X-Men
to destroy that man work.
You see X-Men 97 with the
everybody loving that shit, bro.
Bruh, let me tell you something. When I saw that, when I first saw it, I thought it was gonna be trash. When I went and watched it, that shit is cold.
Hey, nigga, I was ready to go when I heard
Yes, sir. Shout out to Rogue. Hey, who else got a crush on Rogue beside me?
Man, bro, them yams.
Yeah, shout out to Rogue.
But they shaved the yams off this time around.
Look, this is the reason why. This is the reason why I wasn't gonna watch it at first, right? Because the first clip I saw was when the Sentinel destroyed the plane and they jumped out and Cyclops blasted his way down and he was like, to me, my X-Men. I thought it was corny as shit, right? I was like, man, that shit is corny. But then when Professor Xavier came back, and he put his hand on his head, And he was like, to me, my X-Men. I said, yo, that shit is cold as hell, bro. I said, it's because of who said it. You feel me?
Yeah.
And then we got, oh my God, bro. If y'all haven't seen it, bro, we got Wolverine and Nightcrawler back-to-back fighting, bro. That shit
Yes, sir.
awesome.
Yeah.
I gotta check that out. I haven't seen it yet.
Let me say the reason why I didn't want to watch it is because they made Morph a they.
Oh yeah!
What the fuck?
When they made Morph a they, I was like, I'm gonna wait till everybody else finish.
But you know why I didn't trip about it? You know why I didn't trip about it? Because they didn't really play into it on the show. Like they didn't play into it. Like, and then on top of that, Morph was in there doing some wild shit. Like he was turning into the Hulk. He was turning into Quicksilver. He was turning.
Damn.
Yeah.
That BMU question.
So, Anger Man, how do you feel about Robert Downey Jr. becoming Doom, Victor Doom?
It's some bullshit.
It's some bullshit.
That shit fucked me up. I was like, why would they just let the shit? If you're gonna let the shit be, let it be, man.
You don't have a Marvel universe with Iron Man in it playing Victor fucking Doom.
Yeah, that shit.
I'm gonna tell you where it comes from. I'm gonna tell you where it comes from. There's actually a comic book about that, right? So basically, there's a variant of Tony Stark in another timeline.
Multiverse.
He becomes Victor Von Doom, right?
Okay, I got you.
He don't become Victor Von Doom. He just becomes Dr. Doom, right?
Right.
But the problem with it is that wasn't a very good story in the comics. So what they're trying to do is they're just trying to recapture the magic they got with Robert Downey Jr. Because they got to replace Kang.
I can't lie, dog.
I didn't like that Wolverine versus. I didn't like that Wolverine.
I'm gonna tell you. Yeah, I know. I figured you wouldn't like it because it's got too many of those jokes in it, right?
Yeah, too many.
That's why I wasn't feeling it.
Go ahead and finish the.
But look, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Like with the whole Robert Downey Jr. aspect, like they had to replace Kang, and they're not gonna recast Kang because with Kang, they had the same problem with T'Challa.
Yep.
Right.
The character was too big for a black man. Right. So, because if you think about it, what he did was not that serious to the point where you're going to take him out of a movie and fuck up a whole franchise. It got to be something else, right? So
they just use it as an excuse.
Yeah, they replaced Kang, and Kang is an awesome character in the comics. Like they didn't do enough with him, right? But with Robert Downey Jr. coming in there, it's gonna blow up in their face. But because there's a version of there's a comic book where Tony Stark is Kang the Conqueror. So there's a bunch of different comics. Like they have all sorts of comics they can read, but they always do that. They always go to the most obscure shit.
Yeah,
it's not really popular. And then they try to pull that in there, and it's like, man, don't nobody want to see that.
Let me ask you, Angry Man. Let me ask you this, though. Don't you I hear what you're saying, but when they recast my man from Johnny Storm to Captain America, that was genius.
Fantastic Four, yeah.
Yeah, it was genius. No, I'm gonna tell you why you feel like it was genius, right?
Okay.
Because Johnny Storm's character is not a likable character. He's a jerk. He's not even a likable character in the comics. So when you cast him as Captain America, of course you're gonna like him because Captain America is a likable character. Right. Like he has all of these great attributes about him or whatever. Johnny Storm is just a freaking jerk, and they're never gonna give you a decent Fantastic Four. That franchise is cursed.
Did you like that? Did you like that Wolverine versus Deadpool though?
I thought it was good, man.
There's too much gay shit in there, bro.
Let me tell y'all something, man. Hold on. Before y'all go off, hold on. Before y'all go off,
hold your mule.
Let me set the table for y'all. You know what I'm saying? South Park made a fool out of Disney by saying that they'll take a movie, stick a chick in it, and make it gay. So what Deadpool did was he just threw his thumb up at them and did the exact same thing. They stuck a chick in it, which was what Sandra, whatever her name is. Xavier's sister. And then they was playing around with all these little gay jokes to throw their thumb up at Disney. That's all that was.
Yeah,
That's
but
all
you know
what it
what?
was.
Yeah,
Here's
these
the thing.
motherfuckers are sitting back
Here's
using the movies as subliminal messages towards one another and shit like
Fox,
that.
that Fox shit was nasty. That Fox work was
Here's the
nasty.
thing. Here's the thing about the whole movie, right? When I went to go see it. One, my opinion is not gonna be a pure opinion. And the reason why is because they've had so many crappy Marvel movies come out recently.
Yeah, man.
And
Right.
in comparison, I'm gonna like it because it's
Better
a step
than what
above
they've
the
been giving us.
bullshit.
Right,
You
right,
feel what I'm
right.
saying?
They didn't let those Missandras get onto it.
That's true.
Yeah,
Right.
but if
Because
I'm trying
hey man,
to-
I would like to see Morbius and Blade go in it.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're
I'm
not
gonna
gonna
ask
do
about
that.
Blade.
I mean,
when
they're not gonna do
reboot.
that. They're
Because
they're
Morbius
three
can't beat
movies.
Blade.
They're 3 movies into Venom, and he still ain't got the white spider on his chest, and I'm still
Right.
pissed, right? So,
Right.
like, look, here's the thing with me judging it. I'm kind of where it is that I don't like all of the gay jokes.
Right.
It was too many. You know what I'm saying? 1 or 2 is fine because that's Ryan Reynolds. He's gonna joke like that, but it was just too many, right? Now, I will say that there were a bunch of things they did that I liked. Okay. I like the fact that one, this is the first time a Marvel movie is finally introducing the concept of mutants.
Yeah.
It's the first time they mentioned the X-Men,
Yeah.
right? You got
Avengers.
Wolverine in the classic uniform. I'm feeling that, right? You got a lot of cameos. I was
Cameos.
feeling,
I was about to say the cameos was
Blade
hot.
walked in there.
The cameos was hot. Yeah. Yeah, the cameos was
Blade
hot.
walked into the
Marshall
room,
Ali.
bro. I was like, oh my God. And then what's crazy is
that was Wesley Snipes though, wasn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, I was like,
Wesley?
why so-
Okay,
yeah, that was
what's up?
Wesley. I don't know why you said Marshall.
Blade
That was
ain't on
Wesley.
I thought it was I haven't seen it. I thought it was Marshall Ali.
This
Yeah.
is what
They even mentioned the movie.
off. But this is what pissed me off about it, right? What pissed me off is they wait too long.
Yeah.
You got Jennifer Garner in there as Elektra, but she's old.
Yeah.
You got Wesley Snipes, but he's old.
Yeah.
You finally decided to cast
Gambit.
Channing Tatum as Gambit.
Gambit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though they've been talking about it for years. And look, when he walked
That's
in
what all
there,
the jokes was.
it looked corny to me because I didn't like the suit on him, right?
Right.
But I said when they get to fighting, if they don't do him some justice, I'm gonna be pissed. But they did him some justice.
Yes, they did.
He was
They
getting
did Gambit
busy.
the most justice. Yes, he was.
He was
Yes,
getting
was.
busy. I'll give him
Yes,
that. He was getting busy. Blade was getting busy.
They did Gambit the most justice as far as the illest fight, like the illest fight scene. But go ahead.
Well, Marvel owes Wesley Snipes everything. That motherfucker, he saved
the franchise. Wesley to save their ass again.
Yeah,
Hey, even Wesley to save their ass again, man.
Wesley Snipes, bro.
And see,
I can't wait for the next Blade to come out. I can't wait for the next Blade to come out.
And see,
But the Blade is having a lot of problems.
Hey, hold on.
One of the reasons why I was gonna be mad if they didn't do Gambit justice is because most people don't realize this. Part of Gambit's mutant power is his athleticism. People don't even know that. Like his agility and athleticism, that's part of his mutant power. So like he's supposed to be able to get busy no matter what. Like they did him justice on X-Men 97.
Yes, they did.
Like he was getting busy, like for real. But yeah, like it was a decent movie. It was a
They
decent
have a lot of trouble with. There's a lot of trouble with Blade.
Yeah, Blade ain't coming out, Mr. Payne.
Yeah, because the same reason why, because they wanted to make Blade a second fiddle in his own movie. That was from I don't even say
you heard what Wesley said when they was
There's
talking
only
about
one
the
Blade.
variants. He said there's only one Blade.
There's only ever
That was
gonna
the
be
dope.
one Blade.
That's ever gonna be one. That was dope. That was
What
dope.
was
I
that
like
shit that they did when they had Sticky
said it-
Fingers
look,
as
when he
Blade and
said
shit?
it, wait a minute. When
Oh,
he
that shit
said
was
it,
trash.
when he said it, Sticky Fingers was somewhere punching the air like Cuba Gooding Jr.
I'm
tired of
mad
this
as hell.
shit.
And that was dope. Though. That was dope. Though. I ain't got fun. That was.
But I like
Blade
Blade though because they gave Wesley Snipes like the freedom to say what he wanted to say, and Blade said, "Y'all think you can get with this?" Like that motherfucker was like, man, Wesley had you, man. It'll never be another. Don't even drop the new Blade, bro. Oh boy, he cool and like movies like the Green Book and all.
they got to recast him, man. Wesley
Yeah, they
Snipes
gotta
can't play the new
They done
Blade.
waited 6 years, man, to even start filming the movie.
It's the same thing. They have a trouble with a black man in that kind of position.
If you can bring back fucking Hugh Jackman for Wolverine, you can bring back fucking Wesley.
for the same.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though. Mahershala, I feel bad for him because he would have killed it.
Absolutely.
would have killed it as Blade. He wouldn't have been. Everybody know Wesley always gonna be Blade.
Yeah,
but he would have killed it if they wouldn't putting all of that goofiness in there, bro. Because I could see him playing Blade.
Yeah, and a lot of they shit, man. They do too many gay jokes. They got too many corny ass shit that they put in the middle. Some of that shit, you like, all right, everything.
Can you imagine Blade?
Disney fuck all that shit up.
Can you imagine Blade sitting in a meeting with the Avengers?
That'd be ill. That'd be
ill. Oh my God.
Hey, listen, but
some
it wasn't
dope shit,
man. Hold on. Hey, yo, JT, it wasn't the jokes. It was the actual actions that was like, yo, come on, fam. Come on. Like,
do you watch The Boys?
Nah, I haven't watched. No.
Yeah. That shit. Hey, when that shit first came out, it was.
Wait, you know what the illest?
That shit was wild. The first one, I don't even think it got worse than
Hey,
that.
hey, y'all know what the illest super series out right now? I don't care what nobody say. Supercell, man. Check out Supercell.
I said I was gonna watch it. I got it on.
man.
I got it on my to watch list.
That's ill. And it's
Somebody
black.
said that shit. Yeah. No, The Boys is something different, man.
Yeah, The Boys is different. I'd love to see a Blade.
That motherfucker, them niggas. Is that? Wait, you got The Boys, and you got another one. Is The Boys the one where they had the nigga that was dressed like Superman, but the nigga wasn't a superhero?
But Homelander.
That sounds sus.
Yeah.
I didn't like
The Boys. Is
that
like,
nigga was killing people he ain't had no business killing. He was
that's Homelander. That's Homelander. That's The Boys. Yeah.
No, let me tell you what
y'all need to watch.
I think
y'all need to watch.
Yeah, and The Boys is great value.
What y'all need to watch? What y'all need to watch is Invincible.
Yeah.
That's like that's cartoon, though, right?
Yeah, that bro, Omni Man.
Yeah.
I yo, AM, you didn't like Supercell? Yo, AM, you didn't like Supercell the series though?
No, I haven't really watched it. My my wife was watching some of it, so I seen some of it, but I didn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah, I haven't watched the whole thing. I started it and I went to sleep. I was like, God damn, let me.
Yeah,
it's a series.
It's only 6 episodes. It's only 6 episodes though.
Yeah, I just don't.
Hour.
Yeah, Blade ain't gonna never get released. They tried to fuck over Wesley, and then you know what? They fucked around and put gave nostalgia to everybody because you fucked around and put Blade in fucking Deadpool, and then everybody hyped up on Wesley coming back as Blade. You fucked over. Well, Herschel got fucked over in that right there.
Yeah,
it's over right there.
That's why I thought it was him. I haven't seen it. Like,
but they cut it out. They cut him out because he said there's only going to be one Blade and looked directly at the camera.
Well, he had problems in the third one.
Yeah, and Wolverine and they showed some of it, but at the end, Wolverine kind of being cool with Deadpool. Nah, them niggas don't like each other. They hate.
Yeah, they supposed to stay hating each other.
And they missed a golden opportunity because I'm gonna tell you who really don't like each other: Deadpool and Thanos.
Yeah.
Thanos
won't let him die.
Yeah, he won't let him die. Like they can't stand each other. Like he cursed him with immortality.
Yeah, he got rid of everybody except for that motherfucker. He was mad at the motherfucker. He's like, what the fuck?
I'm still fucking here. Shit.
I'm still here.
I'm gonna tell you the reason why I don't like the fact that they messing around with Blade is because they would be dragging their feet on the Midnight Suns.
Oh shit. Yeah.
It'll probably be another 10 years before we can see that.
Yeah.
The way they dragging their feet with it, if we see it.
If you see it.
Right.
Well, so they're not gonna do the T'Challa, the father angle anymore. They're not gonna do
Bro, if they come out with another Black Panther and that 10-year-old boy still playing Black
No.
They're gonna push that motherfucker 50 years in the head.
Wait, hold on. I thought they were supposed to come out with one
that's taking over.
I thought they were supposed to come out with one about the dad. With what's his name?
Oh, you talking about with his father? Yeah, the prequel. It's supposed to be like a prequel.
Yeah. They ain't gonna do that shit no more. I thought
they may.
I still ain't watched that last Black Panther movie.
You don't want to watch it. That shit was corny as fuck, man.
I'm gonna tell you what they should do. They should give Black Panther a pause as far as this current timeline and go back to the beginning and do Bashinga.
They are. Disney already doing it. Have you seen the previews for it?
I hadn't seen that, but if they do
Bashinga series on Disney Plus, that shit, man, if you look at it, you're like, man, throw this new fucking Black Panther away. They going back to the origin when it first fucking started, bro.
I'd rather get to that, man, because they got his sister as the Black Panther and shit. I'm like, what the fuck was that shit?
Or either give it to what's the name, M'Baku, or either find a way to give it to M'Baku.
Nah, you know, a girl supposed to have been pregnant. They ain't fucked or nothing. And she's supposed to be pregnant.
Her the Mexican dude?
Turned him into a baby daddy.
She had the baby already.
Yeah,
that ain't his baby. That's
son. Yeah.
That ain't his baby. That ain't that baby. That ain't that baby's pappy. That's Killmonger's baby.
They need to bring Hey, isn't there a universe where Killmonger actually was Black Panther? AM? Isn't that?
So.
Huh?
I think so. I think
Yeah,
so.
like the alternative universe where Killmonger was the Black Panther, right?
They should have brought Killmonger. You know what they should have did? They should have put a spin on this shit in the movie.
Yep.
And just had, had Shuri go down and see Killmonger in an incubator or some shit.
Yep. Bring him back
You know
with
what
the
I'm saying?
herb.
I'm gonna tell you that probably the most dopest motherfucking line to me was when my nigga was like, "Are you done?
Yeah.
Are you done?"
When that nigga walked, Killmonger walked in, said,
nigga say, "Are you done? Are you done?"
Listen, the reason why I say they should go back to Bashinga because there are aspects of Wakanda that they don't talk about, like the mystical, spiritual parts of Wakanda. They never touch none of that. None of it.
The illest part in that movie, in that first movie, is when they got him in there with his hands behind his back and they just running their mouth, calling him a pretender and all of that shit, and he just letting them talk. Then all of a sudden, that nigga started speaking in their language. Them niggas like, oh shit, this nigga the real deal.
Right.
My bad.
Hey auntie. Hey auntie.
Right. Hey auntie.
Can we admit that Killmonger was actually right?
Yes, he was absolutely.
Yes, he was 1,000% right.
Absolutely. I think that was the whole thing. The motherfucker was absolutely right. He was out cold with his shit though.
Yeah, he
was right, but he had a lot of daddy issues. Like not daddy issues. He had issues with motherfuckers' daddy not being killed his fucking daddy.
Yeah,
of course.
He's like, nigga, we were supposed to be having a good game of basketball.
And you killed my daddy.
I come home and my daddy ain't even there no more. Bed.
He had claws in his chest.
It ain't even that he killed him. Killed him and left him.
And left him. Yeah.
Left him like instead, like, damn, if you gonna kill your brother, the least you could do is be like,
take him with you.
Hey, wasn't that nigga from this?
Bury him, give him a motherfucking ceremony, you know.
Hey, but in all fairness, though, he did betray T'Chaka, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he was betraying the nigga. He was doing the right thing. Yeah,
he was still royalty. I'm sorry.
We fuck with our own, right?
You're the king, man. You don't have to explain what happened to nobody. You the goddamn king, bitch.
And that's how you get that's how you get a Killmonger.
Exactly.
That's how you get a Killmonger.
Building blowed up. You know what I'm saying?
Nigga, I'm the king around this bitch.
You can't get.
I started this barbecue shit.
Even in royalty, when it comes to like people mistake that. Even with royalty, you got to bring him up on charges and shit like that. You can't just kill him, because he's also royalty. You can't just delete him.
And that's why they were so mad. That's why everybody was so surprised.
He had enough to do.
That's why they kept, wait, hold on. That's why they kept it a secret, and everybody was so upset when they found out. That's why, because he wasn't supposed to do it like that.
Okay, so but he had enough evidence that his brother was selling some shit black market.
Yeah, but he was trying to help the revolution
and said this is what happened, and bring your nephew with you.
Wait, his brother was a revolutionary for the Americans, though. He was trying to get them to fight against the government. So you know what I'm saying? He was a revolutionary.
That royalty shit goes back though, because I read some the other day that happened in real life, like a princess or something. The family found out that her 5-year-old kid was by an enemy. She was sleeping with somebody from the enemy side of the river, and they took the 5-year-old kid and decapitated him in front of the whole family.
Damn.
I just want to say that when you really look at that movie and you really think about it, Wakandans wasn't shit, bro. They was living with technological advancements and shit. The rest of Africa fucked up.
They're stingy, man.
Stingy than a motherfucker, bro.
But hey, listen, but the truth is, sometimes I mean they wasn't totally wrong because once the white man found out he was gonna try to take that shit and use it against it, that's the only downfall. When you spread it and you spread it out, once they get wind of it, they're gonna try to take that shit. That's what happened though.
Did. You got Cap running around with a vibranium shield. You got freaking Ultron made out of vibranium. Come on, man. He's already.
We gonna put it around the whole fucking country. Fuck this shit. We gonna figure it out.
Born some Ultron.
And was it Andy Serkis?
No. It was the guy that plays in the Blacklist.
Blacklist. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
What's his name?
I can't think of his name. Damn, I can't think.
Spade, Kevin, something Spade.
Yeah.
Is it Anthony Spade?
No. Hold on.
Oh, that's
something like that. His last name is Spade.
Yeah.
It's what's his name? James Spader.
James Spader.
Oh yeah.
And shit, he good in the Blacklist too. But I think this voice, because my grandmother was watching Ultron. She was like, "Ain't that robot quoting scripture?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "I like that robot." I
said, okay. Ultron was
that
right.
Robot tried to destroy the earth. That robot tried to destroy the earth.
She was watching Ultron. He starts quoting that scripture. She said, "Ooh, that robot quotes scripture. I like that robot."
See, there's certain sins that Disney Marvel has committed that they're never gonna come back from.
No, they can't.
Yeah. The way they let Thanos just beat the Hulk's ass.
Oh,
man.
And don't get it twisted. Thanos can beat the Hulk. He can defeat him.
Not like that. Not like that.
But not like that. And then got him scared, got him shook.
Yeah, he just mollywopped him. He won't even come out. He won't even come out to be the Hulk.
Yeah, you could have put Diddy face on Thanos, and the Hulk was Cassie. God.
Oh man, God.
And look, here's the worst part, man. He didn't just, and I get why he was able to beat him because he did have the Power Stone, right?
Right.
So the worst part is the way he slammed my boy into that floor, bro.
Nigga, I wanted to cry when I seen that shit.
I
wanted to cry. I was like, "Oh, get up
on that shit, bro! Like,
get up!"
The only thing that could have been
nobody say Thanos was a nigga.
And I was like, Pop's talking to Craig. Get up, Craig. Get up.
The only thing that could have been worse if Thanos put Hulk in the figure 4 leg lock. You know what I'm saying?
But that Hulk never came out again. That was too connected.
He slammed him down like he was Rick James.
The Hulk was like, "Fuck you." He kept telling Bruce, he was like, "Fuck you, man."
I
was my ass. That nigga was trying to get angry and shit. That nigga was like, "Hey, man, listen. I told you I'm done with this shit."
Hey, Hulk was inside Bruce.
I'm not having this shit no more. You and these motherfuckers with y'all drawers on the outside, I'm not dealing with this shit no more. He's like, no. It would have been cold. Hey, that shit would have been cold as fuck. He's like, nigga, no.
Look,
nigga,
you want some of this too, old man? No.
No.
So Anchorman, how do you feel about Harrison Ford being the Red Hulk?
Harrison Ford?
So
yeah,
I was sitting there like, why? Okay, what I can't figure out is why they keep
2 years from there. So I don't know what
they keep changing Thunderbolt Ross because that's who he's supposed to be, right?
Right.
All I'm gonna say is this:
Thunderbolt, he died in real life though.
He did.
Yeah, he died in real life. Yeah, he died 2 years ago. He had cancer, prostate cancer.
So this is all I'm gonna say. If they show that Red Hulk and he got a mustache,
no,
they made him cut it off, AM.
They
made him cut it off, man.
I'm gonna be heated.
All right, so now that we're talking about the Red Hulk, what do you think about the new Captain America movie? I mean, some of the coming attractions don't look that bad.
They had to rewrite that movie like 3 times
because
what they put in it was actually happening and taking place today, so they had to rewrite it. And Falcon and the Winter Soldier had to do the same thing.
Yep.
That's what happened when you base your stuff on reality.
People don't want a black Captain America. Even in the movie, they saying it. He said they don't want a black.
But they wanted a woman. They was trying to get a woman to be Captain America, though.
Yeah,
at one time.
You know what? Here's the thing, and this is what's weird to me. Like, because I never read the comic books where Sam became Captain America. but he did become Captain America in the comic. And I hate to be like this, but I feel like people are using. I feel like people are hiding their racism in their commentary about that shit.
Fact.
Yeah.
That's fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because I see certain comic book guys that do content or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, here we go with this Captain America," and I'm like, y'all might want to relax because y'all are your racism is starting to show, brother. Like, you feel me? Because I can't think of no other reason that you would be that mad. Because if you really think about it, Captain America is the representation of
America.
The representation of whiteness. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Blonde hair, blue eyed, star
white bread.
Yeah, all of that.
Hey, but you heard what Cat Williams said? Cat Williams said, "Fuck Captain America." He said, "What that bitch was when slavery was happening."
You know what? Just
what that nigga was doing Jim Crow.
Hey, that nigga Cat, his mind be on it. His mind be going, don't it?
That's the judge. You notice they're gonna have the original Captain America, the black guy, in there fighting
Isaiah Bradley,
doing some wild shit.
Isaiah Bradley.
Yeah, they're gonna have Isaiah Bradley like a whole enemy of the state.
Yeah, man, Cat Williams had me crying. That boy said, "Why they didn't show him helping Harriet Tubman? Or why they didn't show him helping black people on the farm and helping them to escape?" I was like, "Boy, that shit crazy. That is stupid." Bro.
That's that nigga Cat.
But what year was that when Captain America was created? What year was that?
In the 30s, man, or the 40s,
like
something like that.
Slavery was long over. Yeah, that's slavery.
That's why he was saying it. He was saying
he was in war.
He said, "Why he ain't helped them with Jim Crow?"
He was in the first battalion.
He was sleeping the ice. Yo, wait. He was sleeping the ice during Jim Crow. That's why.
After he done whooped the Nazis, he in the ice chilling.
Right, he chilling, nigga. Literally, he was chilling.
They make him seem like he woke up out of the ice and was like, "Why is all these niggas running around?" You know what I'm saying?
So the only hope now, and any best friend of the black man. Come on now.
Well, the only hope for the MCU is if they keep those goddamn misandrous bitches that they have making that shit that comes on Disney Plus away from the Avengers movie.
She-Hulk.
No, all those people who made all that shit, they're women behind all that.
They messed over
so they can't be involved.
Am I the only person that noticed a striking resemblance between Thanos and Suge Knight?
Yes,
man.
Yeah,
am I the only one that saw that? Because I kept looking at him like, this nigga look like Suge Knight. He was walking around slapping everybody.
Except for the little balls chin. That was the only thing that kind of was a little different. But
well, no, that looked like a beard. Right. That nigga was walking around slapping everybody, taking everybody's shit.
Where the Jews at? Where the Jews at, nigga? What you got? Give it up. I need that right now.
I'm with you on that, man. I think that after Marvel took a dive after that fucking last Avengers movie, after you lost Tony and you lost Captain America, and you just they just
masculinity died with that movie.
Yeah, it did.
You know what? They ruined it.
What's gonna happen? Do you think that this whole thing with this little feminist bullshit is gonna plateau out?
It has already. That's why they
Disney is the conduit for the propaganda as a company.
No doubt.
Netflix too, though, because you got to go to Netflix too. Every action movie Netflix then released, it's 2-1. It's 2 women versus 1 man masculine movie. Now they got Jessica Alba over here picking up 300-pound men, cutting them. What the
fuck? Can't do that. You gonna have it. Look, you gonna have time with a little 5'2" motherfucker.
I got another one for you. There's a horror show called From, and it's the last movie I've seen where a black man has a dick and he likes women and he's in charge.
Oh yeah, that's a good show. Right
Have you ever watched From?
Showtime?
Yeah.
On Showtime?
On MGM Plus.
Yeah. That's good, boy. Yeah. That's a good ass show. You ain't watch From? That's some good shit.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all, super like that too.
I can't wait for the next season.
Hey man, like listen, I don't know if you talked about this, super black sad. Man, but what y'all think about motherfucking Meg Thee Stallion at the motherfucking hookup for
that shit was gonna happen, man. We could see that a long way. We knew
Let me tell you something.
Glorilla coming next.
I watched the video. When you see her come out rapping and she's saying all the cuss words, they beeping out and everything. So when you see her, look at the crowd. Nobody's jamming with her. Everybody's staring at her like,
yeah, everybody just look. I said, what made them do that,
bro?
Because you knew they was gonna do that. Glorilla coming next, bro. I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, Glow.
Yeah, Glow.
Glorilla doing the weather. She was doing the weather on one of those stations, man.
I think it's gonna be bad for them, man. I think it's gonna be bad for any woman that's gonna follow that shit. That shit just don't seem like it's gonna take. It seems like it's just gonna flip on its head, and it's gonna be bad for them, man.
I don't like the fact that they're taking
with Glorilla. Yeah, Glow.
They're taking advantage of that girl.
Yep.
Yes. I think all of them.
That girl is obviously the R word. I'm not gonna say it, but she's obviously that.
That's a fact.
She's
Courtney from 8 is enough.
Yeah, she's not.
Kind of retarded.
Yeah, she's functioning.
Yeah, man.
Real.
Spectrum.
It's like because she be smiling. Like I think what got me was remember that time.
Yeah, she be dancing to with no music is playing.
Yeah, she's slow.
Look at her eyes, nigga. She got the kind of that
too far apart. That was that fetal alcohol syndrome eyes.
Yeah, she got that stare, nigga. That's
not just her eyes. Look at her torso.
Yeah.
And she be pooping on herself, like, bruh.
So that's what's in.
Hold on. So Megan gonna get
the Democratic Party.
Yeah, Megan gonna get her to the White House. That's what she think. Megan Thee Stallion gonna get her to the White House.
Yeah. That shit is fucked. When they did that was a bad move.
No, she is. Watch, I'm telling you, she is.
This is the thing because I just remember when
you
Donald Trump was
man,
talking about being
she
president and how everybody was laughing, right? They was Donald Trump trying to be president, and that shit fucked motherfuckers up, bro. They had communities crying when that motherfucker was there.
Look at Donald Trump pimp.
That nigga got that nigga head look like the what was that thing that played on Street Fighter? That motherfucker. Look at his hair, man. That shit. He look like that nigga that shit it'll shock the shit out your ass. You touch it.
There's a video, and this is why I rock with Donald Trump. There's a video where he talks about the president Macron from France. And he told it was something he was trying to do. He told me, he said, look, if you don't do XYZ, it was some kind of fine or something like for Americans like trying to do business over there. He said, if you don't do XYZ, he said, I'm gonna charge you 100% tariff on every single bottle of alcohol, everything y'all ship over. He's like, no, don't do that. He's like, I'm gonna do it. I'm signing the paperwork right now. It's like, yo, he's like, no, don't do it. It's cool. We like, bruh, Donald Trump is one of the most gangster presidents we ever had.
Hey, but I wasn't feeling the fact that nigga said, oh, Christians. Oh, I love the Christians. Christians, if you vote for me, you'll never have to vote again, Christians. I said, what the fuck? What type of shit?
We already have a nigger mayor. We don't need any more nigger big shots.
Wow.
Yeah. He said Christians, and yeah, I love the Christians. Christians, I love it. I'm a Christian. You vote for me, you'll never have to vote again. It's all taken care of for you. Like, what the fuck?
Angry man, deep down in your heart, this is your president.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you.
And
they actually told her she can't laugh no more.
That ain't no president. That's Willie Brown's hoe.
You know what I'm saying? Anger man. You know what's for the street? The other night on Fox News, I think it was, somebody said people in the party don't like her. They don't like the way she talked. They said her laugh is fucking annoying. They don't want it. And one of the black girls even said it. She said, listen, I'm behind the scenes. She said, a lot of people that's showing up saying, oh, we love her, we support her. She said they don't support her.
They're not going to vote for her.
It's not going to happen.
Look,
but she's still going to get in there somehow.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about this. If it's one thing I know for certain, I don't know nothing else. He jumped out there and said that she was black. Regardless of what she is, she ain't white. If you think for one damn second
they're going to let
the first woman president be anything other than white, you are crazy. I'm telling you right now.
I'm not so sure about that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I think she's gonna win. I think it's
mathematically, that shit does not make
it's a bigger
sense, bro.
I'm telling you, I think it's a bigger play to cause civil unrest, man. I'm telling you,
And
I
it's
think
gonna
this
happen.
bitch gonna win.
It can, right? There's a possibility for it to happen,
because
but
it's not.
God,
Because hold
damn.
on, it's not about the hold on, it's not about the popular vote. It's about the electoral vote.
But here's the thing, though. This is what you're not realizing is you're gonna have civil unrest even if Donald Trump gets elected.
But why you say that? Why would it? Why would it be that?
gonna be
I don't
worse
think
if
to the
he-
same
Oh, yeah, it's
extent.
gonna be worse if Donald Trump to be president. You still gonna have look,
It is.
you will have more civil unrest
Yes.
if Donald Trump get elected as opposed to Kamala Harris.
You think so?
And
I know
yes,
so.
and the
Well,
motherfuckers. Let me tell you.
No, wait, hold on. Most of the militia, most of the whatchamacallit would be on the side of having the Donald Trump as a president versus a
The
Kamala
militia,
Harris.
but no, listen, the militia is not who you have to worry about. The militia ain't gonna do nothing until shit really hits the fan. The ones you gotta worry about is these freaking blue-haired leftists. Them the crazy ones, bruh. If look, last time when Donald Trump got elected, do you remember what happened?
Yeah, there was
You remember
marching.
all
all
of them
kinds
women down
But
there?
it was women. It was women. It wasn't men, though, really wild. It was mostly
Yeah,
women.
they was
though.
holding their bras while they was burning them.
Yeah, they wasn't doing shit. They was so that's what I
Bruh,
said. They wasn't doing shit.
I saw a white chick do a Wolverine war cry when they announced Donald Trump.
There was about 1 million of them
You
doing
would
that.
have thought she was in the movie Platoon. She talking about some.
Fed out to her knees and shit.
Hey, I remember that. Hey, didn't they have like 250,000 that marched on the Capitol when he first won?
Yeah, man.
It was all women though. It was like 95% women. So I ain't really worried about it. That's
See,
what I'm
here's
saying.
the thing: the white chicks. See, this is the problem, right?
You just have white chicks for
The
house.
problem is this, right? Every time there's an election, the reason why the black vote is so important is because the white vote is usually split down the middle. And so the black vote is what puts whoever over the top, right?
In the swing states.
The swing, yeah, exactly. So when you have somebody like Kamala, right? The only thing she has going for her is the fact that she's a woman and she's identified as black, right? So she's got the black female vote for the most part. There's a lot of black women that say they ain't voting for her. But she's got like the AKAs, all of the college educated chicks that think they better than everybody. You know what I'm saying? You got a bunch of them that's gonna vote for her. The super feminists are gonna vote for her.
Then them boomer ass bras that talk about they just voting for her just because she's a woman.
She's a
And
woman.
don't forget about all the women that's in favor of deleting babies. There's a lot of them too. Deleting baby bitches. Them
That's
too.
crazy.
There's a lot
Isn't
of
that
them.
crazy that people will get on TV and announce that they're for that? Like you be sitting there like,
crazy, ain't
full term, yo, full term, my G.
Major
Full
man, I saw the video
term.
that you posted where the girl was saying, well, y'all really finna vote for a female who is pushing the agenda that wanted to wipe us all out as a people?
Exactly. Full term. They don't
Yeah.
even care. Full term.
They don't. They would act like you didn't say that. Like when we had these arguments with these type of women that be doing that, you would say something that makes nothing but sense, and they would still come back at you with, "Yeah, but still."
Right.
That shit
They
kills
be
me.
saying that shit like it's the big joker too.
Right. It's like, yeah, but still.
Hey JT,
I told
JT,
you.
but what happened to the fact that God dog, the woman, they asked her straight up, so are you gonna put any policies for black people? She said, no, why would I do that?
Yeah. You think I'm just gonna put just
black.
because you're black
That's for black people? No.
even worse than that. Even worse than that. She straight up snatched the estate of Nina Simone.
Damn.
Yeah, man. That's from her family, man.
Pro-black, strange fruit singing Nina Simone. And you got these black women running around here talking about like, bruh, the cognitive dissonance is what did Corey say? It's incorrigible.
It's intolerable.
It's
unpardonable. It's intolerable.
It's intolerable. It's unpardonable.
It's crazy. Like I'm sitting there looking at it like, bruh, there's no way.
Let me ask y'all this.
Yeah.
Can we just start getting women to just say what it is? And I think, and just see how they will say it then, instead of saying, yeah, we should have the rights over our autonomy over our own bodies. Instead of saying that, say, yeah,
You ain't gonna get them to do it.
We got a right to take our baby to the doctor and get them stabbed in the forehead.
No, you ain't gonna have nobody to do it. You ain't gonna have nobody to.
The
only one that's gonna do it is the woman that's 100% against it.
They don't just want that. They want to subjugate the men.
Right.
That's the difference.
I don't care what nobody says. They want to subjugate us, bro. Like,
yeah.
You think men were harsh to women back in the day?
Shit. You about to see this shit.
Listen,
Man.
if Harris gets in, man, forget it, man. Forget it.
Yeah.
They act like they're supposed to just lay down. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to fight us for this, you know? Oh, we just gonna give our manhood to you. Here you go. I don't think
that's
so.
crazy. Like if she gets in, look, here's the thing. If she gets in, we got way bigger problems than that.
Yep.
If she gets in, you can say goodbye to the country.
Yeah. The world is gonna be on edge. They're gonna they invading. Somebody gonna try to invade.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to mind that shit out though. Is
You
what
heard
you just said?
The African president said, I was talking to someone in Russia about army tacticals and how to fight the enemy. And Kamala Harris come here. She wants to talk about men marrying men. I told her, get out of my country.
Yeah, she gonna have a problem with that already. Them motherfuckers in the East, they ain't about to have that shit.
And then some of them won't sit down with a woman. Period. They don't play that sitting down with no woman.
You think George Bush had to deal with shoes being thrown at him? They gonna throw nothing, but they gonna be throwing wardrobes of motherfucking clothes at her ass.
But this is what's crazy, and it shows just how short-sighted some of these women are. It's like, okay, I get it. You think if you get Kamala in there, it's going to be one of those I am woman, hear me roar. We're going to take the feminist gynocentric movement to the next level. But it's going to be short-lived because the other countries that are in power are patriarchal countries. And if they take over this country, you're not going to go back to just regular feminism. You're going to go all the way back to before that shit. Because they're not having none of that.
Exactly.
Hey, what y'all think that little boy said when he missed Donald Trump? What y'all thinking?
He didn't say shit. He ain't had time. They done blew that man's head smooth off.
Oh shit! I missed him.
He didn't say anything. This is what he did. He said,
"Damn!"
And just right there, his head was blown smooth off.
Right then, he got taken out, bro.
No, when the lady had to take that lady had to take that. She had to take that motherfucking. She had to take that because they was gonna get his ass anyway.
Yo, somebody got a video where they said the Flash saved Trump, and they show the Flash running up there in slow motion and turning his head slightly.
Yo, people are sick. That's hilarious. That's just hilarious.
Hey, man, what do you think Trump said when he went in the bathroom and shit? That nigga was wiping that motherfucking shit up. He's like, that motherfuckers almost got my ass. Oh shit!
He probably like they tried to kill a real nigga.
Oh god, they tried to kill a real.
Like,
I wasn't scared.
Came out many.
I was a little bit scared.
Many.
He said, but I was holding my own though. I was a little scared, but I was holding my own.
He is officially our first black president.
Facts.
Man, 50 killed it when he many men.
He said, I feel that.
Many.
He said, I'm familiar with the energy.
That's crazy, man.
That shit was crazy, man.
That shit is crazy as fuck, man. That motherfucker hit.
But I tell you something that nobody's thinking about. Right? Nobody's thinking about how much Trump supporters love him.
Yeah.
Because when they was firing them shots, they didn't go nowhere.
Yeah.
Usually a crowd is going to scatter. They're going to disperse and stamp. Them they was standing there waiting.
Right.
Like, bro, he better stand up.
They was pointing at the nigga. He was they got him.
Bro, you look, we don't even realize they don't look, they play in these games, whoever. They don't even realize. Do you know what would have happened
Oh
Yeah.
shit! Yeah,
that man would have got his head blown off in front of the whole
Oh,
world.
world.
I think they was counting on that though. I think that's what they was aiming for though. I'll be honest with you.
Bruh.
I think that's what they was aiming for what would have happened if it would have happened. Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna tell
think
you
they
that in
know.
about 10 years, it's gonna come out that was a conspiracy for real.
Well, that's
For
not
real.
now.
You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be like, "Oh, he
They had
hell
the
with me."
wrong people questioning old girl though. I didn't
was a
really like
circus,
that
bro.
shit.
That was
That was
just a
circus,
That
pony
circus,
show. That
that
was
was
a pony show. Come on,
Why
man.
you think it's the
hell
wrong,
yeah.
Chester
you
Cheetah.
the wrong people?
Yeah, that
I'm
was a
telling you, the
pony
reason
show.
why
But
they
you say is he the bad built blind
bleach blonde, bad built, butch body,
butch body?
bleach blonde, bad built, butch body.
I'll tell you something. The real
I
reason why
didn't
they
even
took
know
a
because I
shot at
said,
him,
damn, did these motherfuckers, when did they start cussing like this? She was like, you full of shit. I was like, God damn.
yeah, that's what they do now.
I'm like,
that's what they do now.
Because the ghetto-ness have infiltrated
That's right.
all of America.
That's right.
you see it now.
Goes through your body.
Is all once I saw Meg the Stallion do
That
a
was it.
commercial for the Olympics.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, it's over. It's over. I told everybody on my show, I said, look, man, just go ahead and bring on the meteor, the rise of the Planet of the Apes, the Terminators, whatever you got, just go ahead and bring it on.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
It's
Let me
just
tell you something, man. The reason why they took a shot at Donald Trump,
it's like a biopic now.
the reason why they took a shot at Donald Trump is because he said he was going to turn over the FBI, the CIA, and get all the rest of them rogue folks up out of there and start over from fresh.
Oh shit.
Hey, look,
And they was like, you know what? We're going to see about that.
hey, look, check this out. The only thing I am 100% convinced, because back in the day, the world has always had evil, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we have never seen evil to this level. I'm telling you
Not at
right now,
all.
if you're a person watching this and you're an atheist, let me explain something to you. You know God has to exist when this level of evil exists. When you have people doing stuff, did you see what happened at the Olympics?
Yeah, that's what we was talking about at first. That's what we was talking about
at first.
Yeah.
Did you see that white horse?
Yes, that's what we said.
The Trojan white horse. The Trojan.
No, it's behold the pale white horse from Revelation.
I'm sorry, not the
Revelation.
Trojan.
From Revelation.
Not the Trojan.
Bruh,
but the pale white horse.
The only thing that can fix what's going on now,
damn,
Jesus,
is Yahshua has to walk down out of the sky with that sword. That's the only thing that can fix shit at this point.
But it was already written. It's a tribulation period about to come. It was already written.
Yeah, that shit is crazy. But to have the Owl 5 motherfuckers out there doing that shit and the whole mocking Jesus shit and all that shit.
But
you know what? The last dinner type. I'm like, whoa, this shit.
You know what it is, though. Listen, you know what it is. A fourth of the world's population is going to be deleted. That's what's going to happen next. A fourth of the world's population going to be deleted by pestilence, by a famine, and by the beast of the earth. It's written.
Yeah.
It's already written.
Look, check this out. When if I would have been there at that event, let's say for argument's sake, I got some tickets somehow, and I was like, oh snap, I get to go to the Olympics, and I'm there. The moment I saw that table laid out like that, I'd have been like, yep, time to go.
Pack it up. Time
to go. Time to pack it up. Let's go.
It's time to
what
get
you
the
mean?
fuck
No,
on.
nigga, get your shit. Let's go. You're not even gonna be here.
Let's go.
The craziest thing is,
I hate to say this. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I'll be honest with y'all. I got an eerie feeling. I hate to say this shit. I hope I'm wrong. I got an eerie feeling a lot of them people ain't gonna make it back from the USA. Ain't gonna make it back here.
Oh man, cool.
I hope you're wrong.
Yo, I pray I'm wrong. I'm telling you, I got this feeling. I pray I'm wrong, but I got gifts, so I'm praying I'm wrong. But I'm telling you, I'm seeing all these pictures of LeBron. Why LeBron? Yo, don't you Yo, I don't think y'all understand.
I
think about how late it is in LeBron James' career, and he's over there playing ball and he doing what he doing. I don't think they're gonna make it back.
I think we're gonna be all right, and I'm gonna tell you why I think we're gonna be all right.
Why is that?
Because Trump got the DeLorean.
He's Biff got the DeLorean.
Let me say this. We done already talked about this a few times. We touched on it a little bit. before the shooting incident. Once I saw that shooting incident, I said, yeah, that nigga got the DeLorean.
Did you see the almanac in his pocket? Did you find the almanac?
Nah, I didn't see the almanac, but bruh, that was enough for me. I was like, the bullet was like right
It was right there. Like, that's why I said, damn, that shit had to be kind of staged or something. But I'm like, no, because he grabbed his ear because that shit burnt like a motherfucker, boy.
Bruh.
But God,
like
damn.
I told everybody, if that
How the
was
fuck
staged,
they missed the whole head, what they call it, the abagala dula?
bruh,
How
if
you
that
missed
was
that?
staged,
You know what?
Turn your mic off, JT. Turn your mic
check
off.
this out. Check this out. If that was staged, if that was staged, Trump deserves an Oscar.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because that was a hell of a. If that was staged, that was a hell of a performance.
Hell
because
yeah.
he grabbed his ear before you heard the shot, so that lets you know. You feel what I'm saying? What was up? Because how would he know to reach and grab his ear before the freaking before? Because the bullet's gonna make it there before you hear the shot.
Yeah, you would hear the zing before you hear the shot because of how far it was. Yeah.
He
And let me
felt that
ask y'all a
burn.
question. When is the Olympics over? Like, when is it officially over? Like,
Probably about a week or so, man. Who knows?
Yeah, like another week.
Man. Yeah, I hope I'm wrong, fam. That's all I'm gonna say. I hope I'm wrong.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, man, because that's a lot of damn people coming. Imagine trying to go over to Europe during that time right there, boy.
That's a sacrifice.
Plane tickets was so there. I kept wondering why they were Cologne, Germany, France.
And think about this. When they went, what happened? That Microsoft stuff happened, right? When they was trying to go, wasn't it?
Hey,
Yeah, that was a couple weeks ago.
Did you see? Did any of y'all see the new show on Peacock called "Those That Are About to Die"? It's a Roman show.
I haven't seen it yet, but I got it on my list.
So check this out. In the very first episode, and I'm not giving anything away, but the very first episode, the people. This is after Julius Caesar. So you know they're in the decline of Rome, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're running out of food or whatever, right? Not because they're out of food, but because one of the brothers is doing some goofy shit. But the people was getting ready to riot in the streets, right? And so one of the sons of the emperor, he said, let's have a race today. And they wasn't supposed to have a race that day, but they lit the torches or whatever, so they knew it was about to be a race. Bruh, the people that was in the street yelling and shit about to go freaking riot because there was no food, they looked over there and saw them torches. They was like, oh, there's a race today. I'm like, did you niggas forget you were hungry?
Yep.
And the crazy thing about it is I'm like, wow, that right there says a lot about
it. Yep. And to keep them entertained.
Give them bread and circus.
Exactly.
Bruh.
That's it.
That's what
all right, y'all. We're gonna get up out of here, man. It's been a late. I enjoyed y'all having y'all out. Did y'all want to get any last words, man, before we get up out of here, man? R-Pain?
Yeah, I tell you what. I mean, just on this point, I think that, you know, I don't think we should underestimate the power of the propaganda and trying to put Harris in office. You know, she couldn't even get one delegate 4 years ago. And it's real crazy how they just circumvented everything to put her where she's at, right? She is the vice president. But how come she just didn't do, there's some theory that Obama, right, blackmailed or extorted my man out of office because Kamala was going to invoke the 25th, right? And because she gave him the permission because the vice president can do that. So they brought that to Biden. And that's why he endorsed her right away, because Barack Obama took a little while to do it. That wasn't the plan. So, but she can get in, man. I think we shouldn't underestimate it. But if she does, that's the end of America as we know it, really. I mean, everything goes. The ultra liberalism already that's the war that we're really fighting, man. A war of any kind of conservative values will be completely out of the window. And the only thing she's going to be thinking about is getting us into a war, because none of those ladies, the new kind of fangled Western woman, they don't value men's lives at all.
No.
At all. So she's not going to hesitate sending a whole bunch of young folks to die, especially men. So I think that's what the battle is. So anyway.
Appreciate it, RP. And as always, it's a pleasure, brother. Easy Bands, any final thoughts, man?
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all having me on. Salute to the brothers on the panel. Salute to the chat. Man, yeah, just be watchful and pray, man. That's all I can say. We gotta get in tune. If you don't have somebody to believe in, find you somebody to believe in, man, and hopefully it'll be the true and living God, man, because at the end of the day, none of this shit really matters. What matters is your soul, and what matters is where we go after this, man, eternity. So listen, just praying for everybody under the sound of my voice that we get it right and that we keep it right. Appreciate y'all.
As always, it's a pleasure, Izzy. Thank you for coming out, brother, and spending some time with us. AM, any final thoughts, brother?
Only thing I gotta say is that was not the Last Supper, because everybody know that Smurfs were not at the Last Supper. This is getting out of hand. It's getting ridiculous, and I don't know if they're trying to usher it in or if they're just so foolish they like playing with fire. I don't know which one it is. But all I know is they playing with some shit that they should not be playing with. And I'm gonna stay the hell out of the way. You feel me? I didn't even want to talk about the topic. It's so blasphemous. Feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So my thing is, all I can say, gentlemen, is we live in interesting times.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. AM, as always, it's a pleasure, brother. Thank you for coming out. JT, did you got anything you want to wrap up, brother?
He might have stepped away.
Yeah, he probably did. That's it, man. As always, it's a pleasure, y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like button, hit subscribe. Make sure you share. You know what I mean? Let everybody know you care. You get an opportunity, hit the Cash App, hit the Super Chat, support the channels, man, that support you. Thank you guys for coming out once again.
All right, brothers. All right, later.
Later.